what's going on, everybody? I am Patrick Jordan. Welcome. This is Alone Together Pittsburgh, Alone Together streaming. We are here. I believe this is week. Is this week 17? I think this is week 17 of this show. I think we're in the upper 50s of episodes here. So that's that's surprising for me, and might be surprising for you. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time watching us, we started this show the day that the shelter-in-place order came down in March, and we've been kind of doing the show 3 to 4 times a week ever since. We started it out as a way to keep a sense of community going along in the greater Pittsburgh area, just trying to keep people together, and especially when no one was leaving their houses, to let them know that they were not alone and that we were all in this together. So we've had people on this show from every walk of life that you can imagine. It started out very arts heavy, because we all come from arts backgrounds, Pete Spinda, Dave Mansueto, and myself. And then it kind of just evolved over time. So we've had everything from doctors, lawyers, accountants, life coaches, bartenders, bar owners, waiters, restaurant owners, small business owners, actors, singers, musicians, dancers, everything you can imagine and everything in between. We've had on the show here, and we're gonna keep going till we get through this thing, or till we don't have time to do it anymore. I'm just kidding. We're going to keep doing this for a while. I'm real excited about the show we have tonight. It is a film-centric show tonight. I know last night was film-centric, but tonight we've got some amazing guests. We're going to start off. We're going to get to them. We got to take care of some housekeeping first, but stick around because we have Chris Ivey and Stevo Parys are going to be with us tonight here. So you're going to have, like, if there's 6 degrees of filmmaking in town, you've just got 2. They've either worked with Chris or they've worked with Stevo. That's basically you got it all. You got all your boxes checked. But before we do that, there's some things that we have here going on. We have a little something called the Jagoff poll. Okay, and it is not a derogatory term. It is a term of endearment. It is all things Pittsburgh. When we started the show, like I mentioned before, it was March, and everyone was upset because sports were canceled, and they still are. So the March Madness bracket poll, whether you follow college basketball or not, people tend to get involved and fill out their brackets. So they didn't have an opportunity to do that. So we decided to give them that. So we have the Jagoff bracket poll, which is brought to you by Engine House 25 Winery. Engine House 25 Winery, if you don't know about them, they are located right where the Strip District meets Lawrenceville, right there in Doughboy Square. The Doughboy is actually looking at the firehouse, and if you're coming up from the Strip, you can't miss the giant mural of Roberto Clemente on the side of the wall. Engine House 25 Winery is still doing curbside pickup for their wine. Their wine is killer. It's incredible. You go to eh25.com. I think they have like 10 blends right now and a couple of just regular wines. You can see some of that. Their website is really clear. Go to eh25.com. You put in your order. They also have a great Chardonnay, and they have a Rosé as well. You put in your order. They come out, gloves, masks, everything's as clean as possible, if you can imagine. Dwayne Reeder, if you know him, he's one of the neat freakest of people that you're going to find. It also houses the Roberto Clemente Museum, so you can find out more about that. You can find it all on the website there. So check them out, Engine House 25 Winery. You cannot beat that. There are no lines. It's not like at the liquor store. So check them out. Can't do that, and you're supporting a local business while you're doing it. So thank them for supporting us. But the Engine House 25 Jagoff poll, it's an overnight poll. We have 2 polls. There's the big Jagoff and the little Jagoff. The big Jagoff we announce at the end of the show, and that rolls into the next day. You have 24 hours for that one. So last night's poll was a big one. Overnight, 2 winners. We're in the second round of the bracket. As you can see, the bracket is located here. You can see it here. It's all there. There's some blank spaces at the bottom corner. You'll notice, and that's because there are a little Jagoff's polls that are fighting to get into the big Jagoff poll. But overnight, we had a big one. It was Sheetz versus the Tessaros burger. Now you think these things don't make sense together. Well, they weren't together in the first round, but Tessaros beat the Big Mac and Sheetz beat Get Go, and now we're moving on. So this is all Pittsburgh. It was Sheetz versus the Tessaros burger. Two iconic things. So talk to me, Dave Mansueto.
What do you
I
think?
hear you?
Well, how's that one going to roll? If you had to bet on it, Patrick, what would you say?
I can't vote. If I had to bet on it, I would say it was close for the Tessero burger. Because
Patrick,
Go ahead, because it's a tangible thing, and people aren't really connected to Sheetz. But go on.
Interesting. I would say that you are close, but no cigar, buddy, because the Tessaros burger blew the Sheetz burger out of the water.
Wow.
And you know what? I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to that, or harmony, or balance, yin yang in the world. But this is just the way it shook out. The Tessaros burger just absolutely dominated the Sheetz burger.
Okay, so the Tessaro burger has moved on now.
That's right, the Tessaro burger.
The Tessaro burger has moved on.
Primanti Brothers hoagie.
It's moving on to the Sweet 16. Okay, so that's what's happening right now. Now you got to stay tuned for the end of the episode. You're going to have another one, and like a lot of hearts are going to get broken. We broke some hearts in the first round. Like I think the biggest heartbreaker for me might have been when it was Kurt Angle versus Bruno Sammartino. That was a big one for me. Kurt Angle went wild. It was the highest vote total along the lines here by like 3 times. But also the other heartbreaker was Michael Keaton versus Jeff Goldblum. But Michael Keaton has moved on, and Jeff Goldblum is in the losers bracket, which isn't a bracket at all. But that's cool. Somebody says that Sheetz won and they were there. But thank you, Joy. But I'm telling you, it turned into something else here. So that you'll have that there. So now let me tell you something else. I teased it out a little bit. We have an in-show Lil Jagoff poll. All right, that we're going to bring to you right now. It's different every time. So what ends up happening is the Wednesday Little Jagoff winner goes up against the Thursday Little Jagoff winner on Friday. So right now, we don't know what it's going to be. What did the producers in the booth come up with for tonight, Dave?
Oh boy, it's 2 of your favorite Pittsburgh pastimes. We're talking about the potatoes with the hats on and the googly eyes. It's the pierogi race-off versus the Great Race, sponsored by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield.
So, it's the pierogi race versus the Great Race.
That's right, baby.
Get to voting, folks. And that's right, the pierogi race. Dave, while I still have you here, pierogi race. Who's your pierogi that you always take?
Johnny Cool Tips.
You ever been to a pirate game, Dave?
I guess it's the same question I have for you, sir. Have you ever been to a Pirates game?
I'm sauerkraut Saul all the way. I mean, sometimes I might lean Oliver Onion, but sauerkraut Saul
Put on a fucking mask.
Well, thanks for bringing that up. Bruce Springsteen just chimed in, and it was just his audio. So I'm very excited that I didn't have to see you, Dave, when that happened.
Put on a fucking mask.
That's the clip you pulled for the... So we have a Bruce Springsteen clip here, all right? That was him and Little Steven. It was talked about a lot in another episode. But, okay. So there you have it, folks. You can get to voting right now. EH25 Winery, Lil Jagoff poll. Get to voting. At the end of the show tonight, we will announce the winner from this one and announce the carryover into the overnight poll. So thank you for that. So quickly in the news before we get to our guests, came down that they are yellowish, our greenish state that the Allegheny County is in is coming up with some new parameters, new rules. You have to wear a mask always, which I'm cool with. Restaurants do not have indoor dining at all anymore. It is outdoor dining, period. And you have to wear a mask and your maximum of 3 cocktails. I think it's per person. That's the new info that dropped down. I think that takes into effect Friday at midnight. Am I wrong on that? I think it comes in tomorrow. But that's what the new thing is. So they went away from the... Am I wrong? Am I right? What did I say? Did I say something wrong, boss? What's up, Pete?
No, you didn't say anything wrong. I just think it's hilarious that if there's a 3 cocktail limit, which I feel like is just going to encourage people to bar hop.
Well, if they're bar hopping, well, I don't know about bar hopping, but you have to be outside. How do you bar hop to outdoor dining? I mean, what's up with outdoor? I mean, how many places have outdoor? And you can still do takeout, which I highly recommend if you have the means to do it. I would say get takeout from your favorite spot. If you get delivery, you know, still tip on takeout. People are working their asses off for way less. So, but go on.
I mean, I don't have much to say. I just wanted to ask the question: is it going to like encourage bar hopping?
I don't know the exact answer to that, but it might. But I mean, it's.
But, like,
They
three
cut off at
drinks?
11 p.m., you know, Mr. Pete. They do cut off at 11. You know what I mean? So you got to start early if you're going to hop.
Well, I mean, that's it. I mean, here's the deal, though. I mean, if you look around, if you look at other countries, if you look at, I mean, other people kind of have this shit under control. And
It's true.
You know what I mean? And it's kind of like we need kid gloves, and I don't think they can ever go. I don't think they can put the genie back in the bottle, and go back to red, yellow. God, I hope not. I didn't see what the numbers were today, but I know it was in the 200s for the last couple of days for Allegheny County.
Joy, we could go Sheetz hopping. We could go from, and we could buy 3 drinks at each Sheetz. They have outdoor seating.
Joy gets it. Tom just said Kaya. Kaya is also a very good, good outdoor dining spot in the
I
Strip
just
District.
think that the 3 drink thing is kind of weird. I don't know. Like it's kind of arbitrary, but don't you think it's kind of weird?
I mean, I think it's like they can't just say go out. When they said green, everyone said F it, it's green, let's roll. Right? It's on, and they pack bars, and everybody was getting hammered and doing whatever they want to do, and that's why the numbers have kind of shifted. It's instead of an older variety of a younger variety, and everything is kind of tracing to Southside and Oakland, right? So it's basically it's like, okay, this is why you can't have nice things. Is that what it is? It's also the crowd that this is not a hoax. I know there's people out there that are like, F this. I'm having parties at my house. We're going to be inside without social distancing because of America. And it's just the most selfish, self-centered bullshit in the world. And I don't know how I don't know how this is still political, especially when you have a litmus of every other country. We're back where we started. But I will tell you this. Amanda's right. Your hair looks outstanding today, Pete. Have you been touching it up?
Oh no, I just cut it the other day. I was bored and just.
I am straight pomade, and I have not cut this thing in 17 weeks or more.
We can tell. We can tell.
You know
Hey,
what?
guys?
Yes.
Guys, Kennywood's open.
Oh.
You can't see down there.
It is open,
so,
though.
So Kennywood and Sandcastle are opening tomorrow. I don't understand how that works. But Melissa, you're right. I do need a patio buzz. By the end of the show tonight, I'm just gonna pull it out and I'm just gonna show you guys where it's
Do it.
going. I'm gonna wait till
That's
the end of the
what
show. I gotta look good for Chris and Stevo. I mean, come on. All right, but
So
yeah,
Kennywood is open.
Kennywood and Sandcastle are opening tomorrow. I don't understand how they're gonna socially distance Sandcastle, especially. I don't know how they're gonna keep the numbers down. I don't know how it works.
I don't think that that's a good idea. I feel like the people that shouldn't go there will go there. Like,
Well, it's the thing about it is outdoors, right? So I'm assuming they're going to close down the rides. I don't think Noah's Ark is going to be a thing.
but
But I don't know, man. I don't know. There's other people out there that make the rules, and I'm sure it's a 5-minute video of Dave on the log jammer.
we've seen it 30 times.
We've seen it 30 times on this. If you're just joining us, that's what happens. Oh, also, we have a Venmo, folks. If you want to kick in, it's at Together PGH. If you want to, I always forget to mention that. But if you go to, it supports. The money goes to the artists that are involved in the show tonight. So if you want to kick into that, $1, $3. I know donor fatigue's going on right now, but if you like what you're seeing tonight, give a couple of bucks. And if you don't like what you were seeing, give us $20 and we'll change it. We'll change it right on the spot.
Yeah, leave us a note.
Leave us a note and we will change it for you. But thank you for that. So anyway, yeah, I don't know what to say about it, man. But
I mean, they're saying Kennywood, they're going to wipe down the rides every hour, but it's just like, I'm sorry, some kid who's making barely minimum wage is not going to be wiping down every seat and every like handrail. per,
I'm more like how they gonna socially distance the lines, right? Because I mean, I've been to Kennywood. You've been to Kennywood. You wait in line. Your toes are touching somebody's heels. I mean, it's everybody's on top of each other. In that respect, that's what it is. I'm not as freaked out about the touch points, right? I'm not that freaked out about the touch points. I'm more freaked out about the aerosol. I'm more freaked out about
screaming,
people screaming, talking, all of these things. Especially you're on a roller coaster, right? It's going downhill fast. Somebody's going to scream. That's going to blow back into the people at the end. So it's like the first person. Are masks? I don't know how it goes. So are masks mandatory? Are they not? I haven't read into it, but I was surprised. I saw Sandcastle was open before I saw Kennywood was going to open too. But they
my
have
mom
staffs.
thinks it's a bad idea.
Your mom thinks it's a bad idea?
My mom thinks it's a bad idea. If my mom thinks it's a bad idea, it's probably a bit extreme. So
all right. Well, that's what it is. These are crazy times, man. I don't understand. I don't understand. People wearing a mask. It could have solved this. We could have been done with this right now. Don't be a jag. Put on a mask. But I don't want to bogart all our guest time because people aren't here to see us, Pete. We've got some killer guests tonight. I'm very excited about. So, is there anything else other than not deck talk or flower raised bed talk?
I did have an issue with a poly shade.
We're good, Pete. We're going to get to that at the end of the show. After the credits, we're going to see Pete talking about his poly shade on his deck. But our first guest, I'm super excited about. His ears must have been burning on several of our shows because his name keeps coming up, and we're like, we got to have Chris on the show when he's available. So here he is right now. He's a filmmaker extraordinaire, activist, and his East of Liberty series is kind of changing the way people are thinking about things, and he's awesome. So we're gonna bring him out here right now. Without further ado, Chris Ivey.
Hey guys.
How you doing, man?
Good to see you, bro.
Nice to see you too. I feel like I haven't seen you in person in well, beyond 17
Nobody
years.
has. Exactly.
Well, what have you been doing?
It's been pretty good. It's been busy with work actually. Just working through the pandemic. We've been practicing a lot of social distance shooting. I've been shooting 10 feet away from people, and so working on different things. Filming a little bit of some of the protests, but I have to be kind of careful because I still have to work. So I don't like to be in a lot of big crowds for long periods of time just in case. Mm-hmm. But I've been really proud of, the protests in regards to the work around George Floyd and against police violence. And I'm very proud of how the protesters have been wearing masks or practicing social distance compared to other protesters who just don't give a fuck, so. But yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, that's the one thing, and that's what's cool is on the on the national level and on and the county, they basically said that any rise and spikes in COVID is not from the protesters because the majority were masked up. There was distancing, and it was all outdoors. So,
right.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. And the majority of the protests, I mean, they're still going on, and so.
I think it's just amazing, just the effect of George Floyd's life, and just the ripple effect that this had globally. And we just had to keep things going and everything, And as for the last 4 years, we've really seen people's true colors. I would say, in regards to you see the open racism. You see the open, I hate it when you see people, mocking George Floyd's death, they're acting they're having me on somebody's neck and they're flying a Confederate Nazi flag in the background and stuff. But hopefully those days are numbered soon, so we'll see.
Well, yeah. And the other thing, go ahead. I was going to say the other thing was the people that were doing that shit were getting outed because they're posting them on social media, and people are finding out who they are, where they worked, and are writing letters to their bosses and stuff. So a lot of people are that's the double-edged.
And within 48 hours, they're out of a job. So you gotta love it,
Yeah,
and that's the American way, No time for bullshit,
Right. So Chris, you've been making movies like, I mean, since I met you, you're a filmmaker. I think when I met you, you had a camera in your hand and headphones on. So where are you from originally, and what brought you to Pittsburgh?
Well, I grew up in North Carolina, outside of Charlotte, in a town called Monroe. It's the hometown of Jesse Helms. So that's where I get my militancy from, kind of in a way. When you're dealing with those type of people, you got to be armed, and just give zero fucks about, who wants to come up to you and stuff. And so for me, it was really interesting coming up to Pittsburgh. I moved to Pittsburgh in the mid '90s to take up classes at Filmmakers, and stayed up here to work and stuff. Because for me, the one thing I missed from back home was that racism was out in the open. And here in Pittsburgh, it was much more cloaked into the way the city was ran, and also to like city politics and stuff. The city is still extremely segregated. And for me, through my documentary work, it was a way to deal with my own frustration being a black man in Pittsburgh, not just a filmmaker, but also to like being a conduit for like a lot of people who felt like their voice wasn't being heard. So,
Well, I mean, you've been doing that forever, but I mean, when you fell into East of Liberty, I mean, how did that come about? Did you see what was happening and say I had to move, or was there one like linchpin to get you started?
well, as for me, it started before the East of Liberty documentaries. I was doing like television commercial work, but it was impossible to get work here. Luckily, a friend told me because, well, at the time I was the youngest director in town, so nobody's really working with anybody that young. So, oh yeah, but you're black. Nobody works with black directors in this town on certain levels.
And this is like
And
96, 97?
around like 2000, yeah,
2000.
2000 to about 2005. Around 2005, I was going to move away, but luckily, had a couple of opportunities. One opportunity was working on Bill Peduto's campaign back then, when he was running for mayor. We got crushed, but the commercials were good. And then after that, I was hired to work on two documentaries. One was hired to document the tearing down of the high rises in East Liberty. And that's what led to the documentary series, because certain things that happened during the day of the celebration was very disrespectful to the residents. And I saw that as a way to deal with their anger and frustration about being marginalized and being pushed out of their communities from people who don't care, but also deal with my own frustration being a black man in Pittsburgh. So it's not elevate my voice, but elevate all those around. So
Yeah, I remember I was living at the Spinning Plate when the high rises were coming down, and when they were having those whatever celebration at the end of it that they were. I just remember feeling it was the most tone deaf thing that I could have possibly imagined. Yeah.
yeah.
But but East of Liberty, I mean, we could talk. I mean, I want to talk to you about a lot of things, but East of Liberty, you've had. I mean, how many segments are there now?
Technically, there's three. There's going to be one more, a fourth one for kids, and I'll be the last. I have like a lot of footage to make more movies, but it's all self-financed. So it's pretty much reached the point where I'm kind of tired of working on it and just paying for it. And my love has gone to other works. Like I finished up the youth film, which I'm very excited about because it takes place in 5 different cities and 2 continents. And then, but also too, been working on this video installation that we've been touring. So hopefully, and then this year, so after the pandemic, we can get back to touring the installation. We are here and have the showings in London and the premiere in Cape Town too. So fingers crossed.
And
because also to hate right now is that how, because we're not paying attention to nobody wants to wear their mask over here. The EU saying F you to all of us, and that's really frustrates me because I love being in Europe and stuff. So
right,
we got to do better.
Yeah, and it's amazing to me. I mean, you bring that up. We talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the show. And we talk about it every show for 17 weeks since we've been doing this show. The fact that people have this problem with wearing a mask, and it's the most. I don't understand what the big deal is. I mean, I've got like 30 masks. Right.
Yeah, ditto.
I've got them in glove compartments. If you need a mask, my basement flooded the other day. People came to do I had to have the Serve Pro people clean out the stuff, and I was like, here's a mask, here's a mask, here's a mask. What are you guys doing? Like it's cool, just not politics, just wear the mask.
Yeah.
So it's blowing my mind, and it's making because it doesn't matter there's a section of us who are all wearing masks, who are locking it down. There are restaurants and bars who have put plexiglass around every table. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, but there are people who didn't do a goddamn thing. And
Yeah.
which is why we're here where we're at right now. We're sliding backwards here. So.
Yeah. It's like it's totally easy to see why. I mean, if you think about our existence, we're just a pimple on the world's ass. You know, we haven't been around that long, and the world will keep going on without us. And it's just the stupid decisions that a lot of us make now. I mean, for me, it's just like, you want to live or you want to die. There's no fucking cure for this thing. And we don't know when the cure is really going to come. We're hoping for early next year, but we just don't know. And then again, you know, there could be like another pandemic coming after. You know, we just do not know. And I mean, I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, before
I'm going to edit my stuff right now because
you can, but hopefully you don't in about 5 minutes. But what we're gonna do is we have a clip from one of the East of Liberties that you sent over that we'd love to show right now. Before we get off topic, I want to make sure we show this clip because I like it. All right, Dave, are we ready to roll that?
I'm not.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Is that Vima?
Yeah.
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, great. You look wonderful.
You too.
I was not expecting to see you.
Yeah, that's nice though.
I know.
That's nice.
It's lovely. What's up?
Nothing. I'm in town. My niece got married.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you just here for a few days?
Yeah, I'm on my way to the airport now,
Ran into this guy?
and I ran into a film crew.
The lovely.
The lovely.
the
incomparable.
magnificent. The incomparable.
Put your hands together for the one and only,
Ivey.
the most dangerous man behind the camera
Ever to hold
in the 412 area,
glass and aperture in
Christopher
one hand.
Ivey, the bane of URA. Has a voodoo doll.
That looks just
That
like
looks
you.
just
the
like
salt and
him.
pepper beard.
Sons of bitches. Sons of bitches.
Exactly. You're fucking public enemy number
One.
uno.
One.
That's a good place to be at, baby.
It
That's
is a
how
good
you know
place
you're
to
doing
be.
The right fucking thing.
We were just talking about
the last interviews and the full frontal.
I'm like, I'm
when
not.
was the last time you were here before today? Or this
I was here.
visit?
I was here in January for a hot
Okay.
second. For
So
a
you
shoot.
got a chance to see this fuckery?
Yeah. I was here. I've been here. I'm standing with Shady Side Inn. And I'm walking around. I'm laughing. I literally laughed out loud a couple times, like at the middle class, like the upper middle class performance of.
Yes.
I've got money. I've got money.
Exactly.
Wait, I saw this lady, and he's like the mascot of Walnut Avenue. I forgot the dog's name. It's a white Labradoodle. Right? I forgot the dog's name. I've never seen
probably
somebody.
seen 'em.
Oh, I've never seen so many people like move out of the way. So white, so pretty.
Get out.
And I'm like,
make way for the mascot.
oh, and I'm like, that's pretty. I was like, that's a doodle, right? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I have a chocolate one. And they looked at me like,
How dare
how
you?
dare you? How dare you have what I have?
And chocolate.
And
nonetheless.
chocolate? Oh, well, mine's pure
Black
white.
doodles don't matter.
Yeah,
either.
black doodles matter.
Black doodles matter, man.
Black doodles matter.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, you actually went, like, you don't have a pit bull like T-Bone or Ray Ray.
Come on.
Didn't have a litter of puppies.
Yeah.
Like, you went to a breeder and got
Doesn't
one.
have a chain
Yeah, he
for
does-
a harness. You know, just not even a leash, just
like
a chain.
he can't sleep unless DMX is playing.
That's awesome. That's one of the clips that I love about the series, just because you captured. I mean, that was a real conversation, and that should be your intro. I should have done that. That should have been your intro before I brought you out tonight. That should have just been like, should just run the audio of that. But which you should wear with pride. So anyway, man, I mean, do you want to? I mean, I should have had you set the clip up before we ran the clip, but I mean, I felt like it was kind of self-explanatory if you want to go into it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was cool. And what I might do with that one, originally that was going to be for like the next East Liberty film that was going to make for adults. But I was just like, fuck it, I don't want to work on this stuff anymore, except for the kid film. The kid film I'm really excited about.
So
but I may do like a series of short films. The youth film is about teenagers in different cities studying in East Liberty and how gentrification is happening in their own communities. And they talk about how they deal with it in their own different ways. You have interviews with certain like gang members from the blood gangs talking about like how they want more for their own kids and stuff. But there's always so much money being made for them being stuck in the system and everything. And so we have interviews with like Derek Heck with young men in Schumann Center talking about like their own lives tied into that. And just different stories. And so like we had the different interviews with different kids in Philadelphia, Baltimore, New Orleans, snippets of Cape Town, and some in Pittsburgh. And, you know, just make it a real peer-to-peer film for kids and just make it really brutal, honest, and beautiful. You know, we should never sugarcoat anything for the kids because they see everything what's going on. There are future leaders. And the one thing a lot of people don't know, a lot of them are going to be voting this year. So it's going to be really incredible. So
that's awesome. Yeah, I hope so. I mean,
yeah.
We need every vote, everyone to vote at this point now.
Right.
But something else. We were talking about. We had Justin Strong and Fat Mandy was on a couple weeks ago, and literally they were just talking about that. Shadow Lounge came up, and then there was like a drop, and then Mandy and Justin were like, and we need to thank Chris Ivey for documenting our lives and keeping this thing here right now. So it bloomed into this whole, like, we talked about Chris Ivey, like you took over 20 minutes of the show. It was basically like random stories.
That's cool.
No, it's cool. And then I had like the cheesiest story was that one night at I think it was Flux, where there was supposed to be all the movies playing at the library in Braddock, and what my movie crashed the hard drive or something, and you basically you just had to run that cheesy ass Rocky movie that I made. because
I like that Rocky movie.
It was all right. We might have a night where we show it, and we'll probably get shut down for copyright because of all the music we lifted. But
you were down during a pandemic. Fuck it.
But that Rocky question mark played like 27 times in a row until you got a different hard drive going. But that was funny. So how can people get at you? What's the best way?
I would see what's going on. Say. Let's see, you can find like some of the clips from East of Liberty at eastofliberty.com. On Instagram, you can find me at instagram.com/Hyperboy Media. And also you can find like some of my work at hyperboyfilms.com. So I would say recently I've been working on, as a part of my video installation, We Are Here. It talks about like social justice issues going on around globally. And the one that I'm tackling most right now is about Grenfell Tower in London, where 72 people got killed 3 years ago because of a tower fire, because a refrigerator caught fire in the building, and the cladding on the outside is supposed to keep the building being like fire retardant. It didn't work, and the whole building went up in 20 minutes.
Wow!
So one of the companies responsible for the fire is from Pittsburgh, and they're on the North Shore called Arconic. And so the whole thing with me is just like for the next couple of months, I'm just going to be like protesting like a motherfucker, just to get them to take responsibility for what happened, because they don't want to be involved if they're going to get prosecuted. They'll only talk if they're not. It sounds like the idiot in the White House, and it's just like, no, shit's got to change. And people need to be held accountable. So that's the thing that I'm working on now. So you can just keep an eye on some of my work about the stuff coming up with that, when we're going to be doing like outside screenings regarding that. But, we got to, just like everybody, we got to take things to task. So.
Absolutely. So before we let you go, I think the next guest. So maybe we'll just bring him in, and if you guys want to chat and say hello. Are you friends with Stevo Parys?
Oh, yeah. Who's not friends with Stevo?
That's what I was
say. That's the whole thing too. Like, I keep thinking about the movie Friday with Debo. I guess Stevo, so it's just like, he's like one of the greatest people in town, you have to love Steve. Incredible filmmaker, great all-around guy, he's just like a man of like many talents, and just it's just we're Pittsburgh film community is blessed to have Stevo.
I agree, and want to bring him out here. Before we do, there's a question that we're going to ask to Stevo and to you. We're going to call it like the Alone Together Pittsburgh Film Club. Are there films that we need to see? This is outside of not ones that you have made. I'm talking about, have there been movies that are out there that you're loving right now? I know you like comics. I know you like movies. You're a movie guy. Have you seen anything in the last, obviously the last 17 weeks, but like, have you seen anything? Just think about it. We'll bring out Stevo.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Let's bring out Stevo, the man, the myth, the legend. Hey.
Yo.
What up,
bro? Good.
Tilt that camera. Tilt the other way. It's a reversal.
I know, man. I'm just trying.
Have you ever worked a camera before?
Shut up.
Have you ever been on the other side of a camera, man?
Shut up. Hey, what's up? Hey, Chris.
Good to see you, bro.
Back at you. Be prepared for a massive drop in intelligence on this show.
We were ready for that. That's why we had Chris first.
Sweet.
But before we get into it with you, I just asked Chris. We're looking for this is like a little film club here. We've got two of the premier filmmakers. So we were like, is there anything you've seen recently? Could be the last year. Could have been on Netflix. Could have been whatever. Just anything that you're thinking of. And Dave, Pete, and I will watch it, and we'll have a book report. Man, they're not the best in the business for nothing.
Well, something pops into mind just out today, and it's an older film, Nightcrawler.
Oh,
I think Tony Gilroy, Jake
Oh,
Gyllenhaal.
yeah. I was thinking about that the other week, actually.
Yeah, it just came up when we were talking today, and man, that's a good, involving, interesting, wackadoo film, man.
That movie snuck up on me.
Yeah, big time.
I was watching it. I thought I was watching one movie, and I was like, oh,
yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good choice. That's a good choice because it kind of got swept under the radar.
Yeah, big time.
Oh yeah. I would say for me lately, it's kind of fun. Well, I think tonight after this, I'm gonna watch Running Scared, the old Gregory Hines, Billy Crystal movie. That's like one of my favorite childhood movies, and I got it for my birthday the other day. So
it's great, and the Michael McDonald soundtrack.
Oh yeah, exactly. And Climax, you can't forget about Climax. So I'm trying to think like anything new lately. I tell you what, I think one of the movies that I loved a lot from last year that I thought deserved more than what it got some was actually Rocket Man. I really loved Rocket Man, the Elton John musical fantasy biopic. And it's just like a nice mixture of like the music, like the real, like you got totally fucked over in your childhood background story, and I really like that a lot. And
Good. All right.
Besides the TV show Money Heist, for the first season of Money Heist, I love. So
I'm so behind. Like I'm so behind on everything. Like literally, if it's not like a Disney movie, I'm literally. There's a 2-year-old in my house right now. I am on a loop. Richard Parsakian says Chris is the most generous and real person that he knows. I'll agree.
Richard is the most realistic person I know. Love you, bro.
Real, recognize real. You guys both are in that pantheon. Also, Chris, you had a birthday recently.
Oh yeah, the 5th. Yeah, this past Sunday. It was good. It was low key. I got like a Baskin Robbins mud pie, and then I got Running Scared, and I got the Iron Man VR game. Holy shit, that Iron Man VR game! Oh my god, it's like.
All right.
Wow.
Running Scared. I was not expecting the Gregory Hines, Billy Crystal, Bob, and Jimmy Smits is in that too, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
I
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it in a while, but I like Gregory Hines. Did he make bad? I mean, like maybe he made bad movies. I didn't see him, but like I love just about everything Gregory Hines is in. I reference White Knights, which is like weird.
Oh yeah. Maybe even Destruction. I haven't watched that since I was like 10 years old though. So
yeah, I mean maybe that's why I think it was. Maybe I think it was good. But anyway.
Yeah.
But
dig it, man.
But Chris, if you want to hang out You probably got other things to do. If you want to hang out and chime back in a little bit later on in the show, we're just going to be
Oh
hanging.
yeah, definitely hang out.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, definitely.
Cool.
All right,
Thanks,
good to see you, bro.
Thank you.
See you guys.
All right. Chris will be chiming in periodically. Stevo,
What's up?
you've been all over the tri-state.
It's been a day, man. It's been a day.
Well, thanks for making the time to join us here. I wanted to talk to you about kind of the film industry and your background. I mean, you've worked on movies. I mean, I think I met you around the Dogma era.
Yeah, it
Right.
could be. I was
And-
trying to remember how far back you and I went,
I
man.
mean, I think it might have been the Dogma era, but you also worked on a couple movies that we've had that were mainstays in our Jagoff poll.
Yeah.
You worked on Sudden Death and Strike. Did you were Striking Distance too? That's right. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I was a kid. It was a long, long time ago.
You must have been. I mean,
Wow.
you must have been like 4 years old. But
I was younger.
You were younger, but those are iconic. I mean, they
Yeah.
live. I mean, of all Pittsburgh had the little mini movie boom around that era. Then it kind
Yeah.
of faded away for a little bit,
Yeah.
and then it spiked. I guess the last 10, 15
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. I think Kill Point, that TV show, is like when things just went. And
Yeah,
so-
that was because of my
Of course.
my non-speaking
Of
role.
course, man.
Did you know that they didn't realize they were paying me?
What do you mean?
That I was a role that they had kind of cut, but it didn't trickle down, and I was there working every day,
Nice.
and it was awesome. And then then Michael K. Williams and me, I'm in the trailer, like they never realized what the deal was. And then like right around the last week, I was like hanging out with like the showrunners and stuff, and just like having a drink, and they were like, "Oh shit, you're you. Oh, we gotta write you lines." so they went in and did that, and then gave me like the one magic line that I had in the whole. Like I'm in every friggin' episode, and everyone just talks to me. And I just kind of nod my head. But anyway, that was it. And John Leguizamo, Donnie Wahlberg. But yeah, so that triggered it back in, huh?
Yeah. It's been really busy like the last 10 years. Really crazy.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think here. Yeah, so that's been crazy. Okay, so before we move on, of that era, let's say up to the kill point.
Yeah.
Favorite moments, favorite movies. What would you like working on?
Cool. Well, liked is a relative term.
All right, what is like a moment, like a something, like a something?
There's a lot. I mean, Dogma was a lot of fun. Dogma was really crazy film, with Jay and Kevin and Rock and Linda Fiorentino. And every day on that was just berserk. It's like, what are you doing today? Oh, we're an angels flying down from heaven and crushing people. And then the next day, Chris Rock's falling naked from the sky, and everybody on that was like really cool. So it was just a really good time. Innocent Blood was still. I was talking with the guy that was the first AD on that at Pittsburgh, Nick Mastandria, not that long ago, and that movie was still the one for the old farts like me that was by far the toughest film, by far, to work on, because it was 72 Pittsburgh nights outside in winter, and again, what are you doing? Don Rickles was a hoot and was just like cracked up the crew every day, and vampires flying on cranes. It was insane.
You see, of all the people that you've worked with, right, Rickles is the one that makes me jealous.
Yeah. I honestly, with all the different people, I would say that's the one. Like when I go to my grave, I'm like, yeah, I worked with Don Rickles, and he was fucking wonderful and hilarious and just killed us. It was hard to work with him because he was so fucking funny.
I missed him in Vegas by 2 days. I was in Las Vegas, and he was playing at like the Flamingo or something, and it was 2 days after I was leaving, and I thought about staying so I could catch that. I mean, have you seen the Mr. Warmth documentary?
Oh yeah.
The outtakes of that are better than the documentary. But
Yeah,
anyway.
he was good in the movie, but it was just like non-fucking stop. Like, we'd start rolling, and he'd be finishing jokes, and like the crew's just fucking falling out. I mean, we were dying. Camera operators, steady cam guys, or laugh. I mean, it was insane. He was just the best.
Before we move on, Melissa Martin said the bread my sweet would have been shit without Stevo.
Yeah, that's not true, but she's very sweet.
Yeah, she might be telling the truth a little bit.
That was a good memory.
That's good.
I mean, it was a weird time in my life because my dad was like on the decline, and I think he passed away like day after we stopped that film. So it was like all that agony and then going and having such joy, like working with Melissa and all those people. And who knew Scott Baio would turn out to be such a fucking wacko? Because he was great on that film. He was so nice. He was funny. He was like pleasant, and he's a fucking wackadoo.
Yeah, but yeah, he is. I don't know the guy. I mean, he's definitely gone off a deep end.
Yeah, he's very right wing. Let's put it that way.
He's like kind of falling off. He's hanging off the end. Well, he's also at this point now. I mean, is he just trying to? I don't know. It's not like he's watching, but is he trying to have relevancy and find something going on here right now?
Going, yeah. But I mean, he was a swell fellow on that film. That's for damn sure. That was it's like certain movies, and you only get like one every 5 years that are just like total love fests. It's almost embarrassing when you look back, like just how great everybody was. I mean, because it's rare, you get on film sets and there's always one jag-off or 10 jag-offs or 100 jag-offs, and you get those special ones where it's just like everybody was great, and it's a great movie. It's a wonderful film too.
And you said you worked. I mean, Melissa and Adrian came on the show to talk about the anniversary and the re-release of them having the digitized version on it. And that's the one thing that I heard from everybody was that like the set was a family. And I mean, you were a vet at that point, but a lot of people on that movie, it was their first movies.
Yeah,
and they've gone on.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
a lot of careers spun out of that film,
which is kind of an amazing, kind of like a watermark in the Pittsburgh film industry.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
And I think they got their name back.
I think
it's the bread my sweet again.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm dying to see the footage because I think when it came out on DVD and all that, everybody was kind of like, "Ooh, okay, that's what it looks like now," But I mean, the actual shots and everything were great, but the color correction was kind of for shit. So
well, we'll have to ask Melissa. She could chime in here, and when she stops, waxing your car for you here, Stevo's a prince and all these other things. We have Chachi on deck. He has some words for both of us.
Hello.
And here, let's go to that's right, Steve. We have Scott Baio here and his publicist.
That's the nicest guy I've ever worked with. He's an amazing guy.
Fantastic. Stevo loves Chachi. So okay. So before we get, I mean, I could talk to you. I could go down the rabbit hole of talking to you about all these different things. But okay. So COVID hits, right? What were you lined up on? What were you working on?
I was working on a Showtime TV series called Rust, and we shoot it in blocks, and I was prepping the second block, and my wife and I took a vacation just to squeeze it in before things got apeshit for like the 5-6 months I was going to be on it. Went to New Orleans, and we were coming back Saturday. We ended up pulling the trigger early and coming in Friday. They were supposed to start shooting the series Monday. And Friday, it just all went to hell. Everything shut down. We flew back.
Yeah, man.
It was over.
I was,
Yeah,
I was at the table read for that when they announced it on the speakerphone, and like there was Skype, everything, and there's the showrunners and everybody's there, director, the actors, it's all good. And then like the CEO from Showtime just came on and was like, "Hey, we're so excited. What a great group. We love the book. We love what Jeff brought it to us. It's going to be fantastic, blah, blah, blah." Well, 2 minutes ago, we just decided, and it was just kind of like you just stuck a pin in the whole room. And it was just like all that like first day of school energy just went like and dropped.
I mean, it was so close. We were shooting Monday. And Friday, it just... And I got to say, those guys were class act. They paid people for 2 weeks' work, people that hadn't even started, set PAs that haven't even started, that need the cash, man.
Right.
So that was like, that's unheard of, man, in this business. That they were like, "Okay, cool, we'll pay you for not working for at least the first couple of weeks." So, and it's still hovering out there. I mean, they keep trying to set new start dates, but. Nobody.
But SAG's not really giving contracts right now.
Yeah, nobody knows. I mean, the last guess was maybe early fall, but I don't know, man. I'd be shocked if it goes before next spring. I don't know. It seems to me like that needs a vaccine to happen, especially as written. There's big, a wedding with 200 people, scenes in the prison with 100. It's a fairly big little show. So I don't know.
Yeah, Richard said they were shopping. They were shopping in eons for the show. They were already in, getting ready to. I mean, no one expected this thing to turn, and it turned fast.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's when things were dropping. Then it was like, okay, gatherings of 250 people, and then it went to 50 people, and then it was like no people.
Zilch.
In a weekend.
Yeah.
Like it was just like.
Yeah, when we were down in New Orleans, it was, we went down. It was like, try and stay away from people if you can. If not, screw, eat, cough into your armpit. That was about it. And then, boom, the hammer fell, and that was it, man.
And it seems like it's falling again.
Yeah.
But I mean, outside of that, I mean, what have you been doing during the last 17 weeks?
Oh, Christ. All the typical shit everybody's doing, Zoom meetings with friends. I mean, when we first locked down, Annie, my wife, and I mean, we fucking locked down. Like, we didn't do much of anything. And when we did have to venture outside, it was with gloves and wiping off food and, this, that, and the other. She's been, thank God, working nonstop. She didn't miss a beat. She started working from home. And I've been, at first I chilled, but that gets old really fast, especially when you have your wife upstairs working a 40-hour week. So started doing shit around the house, started rewriting some of my old projects. Which I had directed a short before that, so it was like a lot of virtual communication to try and get the edit right, and we're working on the sound mix, and not a lot, man. And then suddenly, a couple weeks ago, things started to come back. I've been doing a couple commercials. I just got back from Ohio, prepping a commercial today, and as of right this second, though, who the hell knows what's going to happen tomorrow? I'm booked for like the next 5 or 6 weeks solid. Melissa's next film, unfortunately, just pushed back because of what's going on. So, just as things are starting to pop and happen again, we're getting hit. Who the hell knows?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, are the commercials? I mean, how are the commercials like non-union, union? I don't know how it's even working, because it's like I'm hearing different things. Maybe commercials are letting it happen because it's only a day or two usually for the actors. It's the stage actors, equity and theater. Nothing's moving. They're frozen.
It's a mix of. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's it. I was just gonna.
No, it's a mix of both. I mean, a couple of the things I did were non-union. I associate produced a couple of little shoots, and then the one today is full union, full blown. But it's big timey commercial for an electric vehicle, and all the talent in it is real people.
Oh, so that's how they get around them. Okay,
yeah,
I got you.
I mean, I think, to be fair, this thing would have been that way anyways. I don't think it was end run, but yeah, man, I don't know. Like everything right now is kind of real.
Everything's gonna go to real people. This is what's killing me, man. Like I'd go in for jobs acting, and they'd be like, okay, you're going in for a cop, and then the guy's like, oh, you're just what I want, but we're looking for a real cop.
Yeah,
and I'm like, but I'm an actor. I can play it. This is what I do. Like actor. This is like the cop thing. This is like my bread and butter.
Yeah.
So it was bad before, and now it's just going to get worse.
Yeah, it's everything. Like I said, I mean, we were shut down. Nothing was happening. Nothing, and now things are starting to bubble, and I could see it all shutting right the fuck back down.
And that goes for every goddamn industry.
Yeah,
it's not just this. Look at the restaurant workers.
Oh yeah,
I mean, people just spent their savings to try to retrofit their restaurant to keep it up to standards, and then it gets shut down again.
Yeah,
and because some people, it came up there before I said Oakland and South Side, but Shady Side had numbers too. Yeah, but because college kids live in Shady Side, but anyway.
Yeah, it was here too. Believe me, I live on the South Side, and some of the shit I've seen over the last 4 months has really made me mental. Like, as people just not giving a shit,
That's what it is, and no one's realizing it. And the contact tracers, now it's getting to the point where it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of you now. So
yeah.
Anyway,
genie's out of the bottle.
We could talk about that. Okay, back to movies. Okay, what's the biggest budget movie you worked on?
God, boy, I tell you, for dollars, like adjusted, Sudden Death was fucking huge. Striking Distance. I mean, they were big.
Those are big movies.
Oh,
Tell me a Bruce Willis story. Go ahead.
Oh, that's tough. I don't.
Tell me. Okay, give me a Jean-Claude Van Damme story. Who was in that penguin costume?
That was if you watch that film, the woman, very big bodybuilder chick that was part of the bad guys. I forget her name. She was a stunt woman, really big, beefy, muscled to hell and back. She was in that. I like Jean-Claude. He was, admittedly, he was in a very bad time. His marriage broke up like immediately after, and it's no secret, and I can only say this because he admitted it. He was hoovering down coke like nobody's business on that film. He was really in the grips of it. But having said all that, I like the guy. He had his issues, but he was fine. He couldn't speak English very well, and had a translator that he would, or a speech coach that he would get really angry with because he couldn't spit out certain words, and he had. I liked him. He had a lot of quirks. He would mumble shit that we would all die laughing at before he did action scenes.
He was a breakdancer. He was a dancer.
Yeah.
He's in breaking.
Yeah. I forget what movie. There's like a famous GIF and clip of him like.
Oh, that's Kickboxer.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kickboxer. Yeah. And when I was, and it's folklore, man. The stunt men of today, right? Look at him like an idol, and they talk about that. I was out with the stunt guys from the Dark Knight Rises, who are now like the one guy's like he's on the cover of Men's Fitness. He's a star in his own right. He was Batman's double, Captain America's double. He does the Thor. He's basically James Bond. He does all this stuff. So going out drinking with those guys is like a whole different world. It's like you're in a Burt Reynolds movie, only it hurts a lot more. like all of a sudden you're like on somebody's shoulders, I'm a grown. There it is. Look at that. Right on my. Dave Mitsueto's not the best in the business for nothing, but yeah, the "Feeling So Good Today" song was playing there. I was a Kickboxer fan, but yeah, Van Damme was in. If you watch Breakin', he's in the opening credits, like at the beach, breakdancing in a tank top.
Like unknown,
uncredited. He's a fucking
great.
extra, just on the beach, like smiling and like doing his thing. So that's cool, man. That's good. So I mean, those are like the folklore. Plus, that's when you were younger and you weren't jaded by the business.
Big time. And the business was so different back then, dude. I mean, like it was much less quenched and corporate. And we had a lot more fun, not to sound like a really old guy, which I am. It was pre-cell phone. So people hung out, man. When we were shooting, there was, what wasn't in front of the camera, behind the camera was like hijinks and fucking practical jokes. And, it's the second we wrapped, we would all jump on the grip truck and get just destroyed. I mean, there were some nights, I remember on House Guest, we drank.
House Guest was one of our movies too.
Get out!
On one of the poles. Yeah, but go on. You were in Swickley.
We were in Swickley, and we shot all day, and then we climbed in the back of the grip truck, and because it was Swickley cops, we lowered the grip truck back door, and we drank for 6 hours, and then we passed out and woke up, and it was literally like an hour before our call time the next day, and we woke up on sandbags, what the fuck, and time to get to work.
Was Sinbad with you?
No, he was not. No, he was not.
But yeah, that was cool. I actually lived in Swickley when that movie was being made.
Wow.
And I wrecked a take. I wasn't in the movie.
You drive through or something?
I walked through. I had no idea. I was working out at the track at the junior high, and I walked home, and they were shooting like a marathon scene.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that was like a block from my house. I lived right by the bus stop at the hospital. So I literally had my headphones on. And I was just walking across the street, my head down, not even thinking for a second that there was a marathon on a Tuesday running down the middle of the street. And I heard cut, and I turned, and there was the trucks and the cameras and all these people. And I'm wearing a black hoodie with ripped sleeves. I was very much into Mike Tyson at the time. I didn't look like him, but I was trying to train like he would have. But yeah, I screwed that up. That's my house take story.
Yeah, that was great because that day probably I had 2 days where I was welded to Phil Hartman for the marathon scene, and he was fucking hilarious. I thought he was funny on TV. In person, he was so much funnier, and just riffing Troy McClure lines and dicking around because I was literally with him for the 2 days we shot that, and that's another favorite memory because he was just such a fucking awesome dude. He was so funny.
Yeah, everybody loved him, man. Like
Yeah.
even the people in the town that were working, or people whose
Great
houses that they were shooting and stuff like that. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, look at Taylor. So watch that film. One of the grip jokes that went on is that we had a cutout of Roy Rogers. It is in that fucking movie 100 times. It was like the grips just worked to put it in. Like a door, Sinbad opens a door. When it opens fully for 10 frames, there's a reflection of this cutout of Roy Rogers. He's carried by joggers. You can see Roy. I mean, he's
Oh my God, I got to go looking for this Easter egg right now.
everywhere. It's
Because
fucking.
I went back and watched that because we put together a thing for bingo when we dedicated the theater to him.
Yeah.
And so we put together like a highlight reel for him to watch and everything. And I rewatched House Guest because he's in there, and so I didn't realize how many Pittsburghers are in House Guest. I mean, I love when movies do that. You know what I mean?
Too. I mean, why not? There's now fucking here. Like, really, you're bringing somebody in for that? We got like 20 people here that would be great for that.
Stephen Coleman brought the ruckus in that movie, or Alex Coleman. With
Alex,
yeah. He was Stephen to me at Pitt, but. But yeah, but Phil Hartman in that movie. So yeah, so you had Rickles and Hartman, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Things were fucking crazier back then, man. I mean, it was just, and also, yeah, because I wasn't like now. I have to like be way more adult and.
Well, you're directing or you're first ADing, and you're like you have like some serious shit to do instead of like hold this, keep the traffic off this street.
Stop that jag off that looks like Mike Tyson from.
Yeah, like get that. Yeah. That's the first time anyone's ever said I look like Mike Tyson. But yeah, man. So that's all. So like what else? There was something I lost my train of thought there thinking about that. But other movies like there's Van Damme. There he is at the beginning of Breakin'. That's him.
Holy fuck!
That's Turbo and Ozone and Special K there, but that just happens to be a young Van Damme in a singlet.
That's awesome.
He always had the thighs. Before little Van Damme trivia for you, he was originally cast as Predator.
I know. He was for like 2 or 3 days.
He shot for 2 or 3 days, and then he walked because he was trying to like get lines in, and they wanted to show his face.
Yeah,
that did. But could you imagine though, like the testosterone on that set with with Schwarzenegger, with Carl Weathers, with everybody else down the low, and Shane Black, Pittsburgh's own.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gotta get Shane Black on the show, Stevo. Make it happen.
Oh sure, I'll pick up the bat phone and make that happen.
Just come on.
Make that happen right now.
Why isn't he shooting movies in Pittsburgh?
That's a good fucking question.
You know, he doesn't wear it, but you know. Last Boy Scout was still a pretty good movie. He didn't shoot it. I love The Last Boy Scout. You didn't like The Last Boy Scout?
We just watched The Nice Guys again.
Nice Guys is fantastic. I really liked it.
It's fucking great. It's fucking great.
Did you see Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I love it. Yeah.
Okay, I love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Yeah. Okay, so Robert Downey Jr. The first movie that I worked on. Well, technically, I was an extra on the $10 Million Getaway or something in when I was like whatever. Yeah, so that was a long time ago. But like, I think the first thing I PA'd on was Wonder Boys.
Wonder Boys. And
so I worked on that, and Robert Downey Jr. hadn't gone to rehab yet, and basically would come up to me daily, and like, you're Patrick, right? You're from here? You're from here, right? Yeah, that's great. You know, I get some blow. Right. And I'm like, I can't help you, sir. I like you've got the wrong guy. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not from Pittsburgh, but I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm not from that Pittsburgh. Yeah. So anyway, it was.
Remember, he went on Howard Stern and called Pittsburgh Schittsburg.
Yeah. Well, look what happened to Sienna Miller when she pulled that off.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We'll turn on you quicker than shit.
Did you, I worked with her like the next day.
Oh,
when that dropped, yeah. Well, after she did the Schittsburg thing, and she was getting kicked out of bars on the South Side, and they were like, there was like signs like "Don't come here." Now she was saying it in jest. She was joking when she said it.
Don't matter,
man. But it doesn't matter. So I'm sitting in the makeup trailer, and she kind of pops around, and she's like, "Hello, it's really nice to everybody," and she goes to me and blah 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 blah, and introduces herself, and I go, "I'm Patrick. I'm from Pittsburgh." Like that, and it was just like everybody just stopped, dropped, and like the hair makeup, everybody looked away and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, "You cut some shit, huh?" Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway,
you come into town like the actors and the big shots behind the scene, and there's the people that come in and prejudge immediately. and you hear him on the phone like, yeah, I'm stuck in this fucking shit. I'm stuck in Pittsburgh and blah, blah, blah. And then there's the other people that come in and they're into it. They embrace it. They scratch the surface. They get under. They're going to the cool places, and they're really like enjoying it because they're trying. They're open to it.
Russell Crowe was into that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I remember like somebody from the production called me and was like there was a time early on that people would they would call. I wouldn't be in the goddamn movies, but they would ask me like where we should take this person, and I would usually say like I was like, all right, what's he into? And so I was just like, 31st Street Pub, sent him to Gooski's,
right.
got into arguments at both places, but Dave could tell the story about the one, but at Gooski's, but like that, I have Russell Crowe's grill, his Weber grill.
Oh, his Weber grill.
I don't have his grill. I have Russell Crowe's grill, and I used to have coffee cups. And they rented David Conrad's apartment for him where he stayed in the Strip District. David had like this amazing friggin', he doesn't have it anymore. He lives in Braddock, right next to my theater. But not that he couldn't afford it. It's just that he just decided to downsize. He had this giant loft right across from the Smallman Street Deli.
Oh, yeah.
And it was this huge, massive thing. And so Russell Crowe stayed there for a month or two. And David called me and he was like, hey, do you want some shit? Russell Crowe left a bunch of shit here. I was like, what is it, like his laundry? No, I don't want that. And he was like, there's a grill, an espresso maker, and some. I'm like, I'm on my way.
Yeah,
I just bought a house, so I loaded up. I still it's falling apart right now, but I still have Russell Crowe's grill, and I have one coffee mug left that made all the pint glasses broke. But yeah, that's it. But the movie making, I mean, that's okay. So what would celebrities that you worked with probably early on. Right? Anybody jumps out. I need the pics of Russell Crowe's grill. Apparently, that's what they're saying in the booth here. I'm gonna have to go find that. Okay. Anybody step out as high quality individual versus asshole?
Oh yeah. I mean, Jesus. My first movie was Silence of the Lambs. Jodie was really great. Anthony Hopkins was a fucking prince. Was the nicest guy. He took a bunch of PAs out to dinner. I mean, who the fuck does that when you're the star of a film? Just an amazing guy. And like the ones that I didn't really like, I'll just preface it real quick saying that like it was 3 months, decades ago. Who knows what the fuck they were into. I wasn't crazy about Mr. Willis. Wasn't crazy about Sharon Stone.
Okay. That's great because that's literally what I've heard. From the like Bingo had told me stories about Sharon Stone, and he had a good one, about Bruce Willis, because I guess they called him in last minute to shoot a scene for the movie, and they didn't end up using the whole scene in the movie. And Bingo they cast him same day, on set, giant scene. He gets off book in the car, right? Because he's magic, and he gets there on the set. They start shooting the scene. Bruce Willis is saying totally different things, a totally different makeup and everything. Oh, yeah. Like it's like, and Bingo went like, "I'm a theater guy, man. I just got this. If there's rewrites," Bruce Willis says, "Let me see the script. This is the wrong script." And tosses it.
Oh yeah. There were it was funny because I was looking for that the other day. A buddy of mine wanted the Three Rivers striking distance script, and I've never had a script. I saved all the revisions. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to save this," and it was that thick with we went through every production color, which there's like a dozen, and then we're like, fuck, we're out of colors. Okay, the next issue of rewrites will be double white, then double yellow. I mean, it was insane. Things were being rewritten as we were shooting them. And of course Bruce was rewriting things, and that ending changed, which that's the one thing about that movie. I think the ending's really bad. And it changed and changed and changed and changed.
With the dam and the triple dying, or
just they're like the very end with the fight and with Robert Pastorelli drowning and all that. It was rewritten I swear to God, it was rewritten 20 fucking times. And Bruce would have his rewrite, and then the producers would have their rewrite, and the writers would have their rewrite, and they didn't always line up. And sometimes we were shooting pages as pages were coming in. I mean, I'm not sure. I think it might have been that film where we literally finished a scene, moved on, and a rewrite came in. It's like, well, that ship sailed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a strange.
But I love that it's still, it's still folklore. You're still talking about it. You know what I mean? The movie, the movie's ridiculous. I was trying to explain that to somebody when I was hyping up the voting for, I think it was Sudden Death versus Striking Distance, and then I think Striking Distance went up against something. They just rolled. It's gonna move. It's gonna move to the Elite Eight. I'm telling you.
I hope.
But I hope so. But somebody that had never seen it before, they were like, "Is it really a good movie?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. It's good and terrible. It's like it's a seriously fantastically flawed bad movie." Dennis Farina.
He's awesome.
God damn it! How did I not get? Why were these movies shot before I came into the scene?
Yeah, he was amazing. I fucking love. I was a huge fan of his. We were like worshipped Crime Story. A bunch of friends and I would get together like every week and get loaded and watch Crime Story.
He's a cop, then you know what I mean.
Cop. And he was great. He was like he got along with Bruce, but he didn't suffer fools gladly. So there were a couple times he was like totally unimpressed by stardom. He didn't give a fuck.
I loved him in Midnight Run.
Oh,
sorry, that's also one of my favorite movies. I think that might be
do something.
Eat a fucking sandwich. Have a glass of milk. Like just everything. I'm gonna bury this phone in your head. Like it was just like him having like calm aggression.
Yeah, he was fucking. I love that guy.
Is this more on number one? Put more on number two on
the phone. Yeah, he was great. And I loved that he wasn't playing that game. There were so many games being played on that film on so many different levels. He wasn't fucking playing. He didn't have to. He was a real guy. He didn't fucking care.
And I can't believe he's gone. That's the one. I was like, I just wanted to work with that guy.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So, anything else? I'm trying to think here. So you don't know what's coming up next. Everything's on the horizon.
I'm associate producing some commercials. We're doing some healthcare stuff. I
mean, what do you think? What do you think's going to happen here? I mean, are you thinking it's just going to have to be a cure, a vaccine?
I mean, honestly, like I'm trying to stay. I've read so many articles about how the way forward and like all the different papers and different countries that are doing things to allow filming and. I mean, maybe there will be some things here and there that are very, very locked down and very controlled. But I think for the industry to really start back up, you're looking at a vaccine. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, it's very difficult to work with the COVID protocol that we face now. It's really hard. Like we did an exterior day on a commercial. It was 94 degrees. And we're outside all day, and you're wearing masks, and like, of course, I'm not part of that. I can't breathe bullshit because, like, throw the fuck up. But it's fucking hot, man. It's really difficult, and like everybody in a crew that's got experience is trained. There's a problem. What? Let me come in, fix that. I got my end. You got your end, and you have to say, no. Art department, come in. Grip Electric, stay out. Okay, art department, you're done. Get out. Grip Electric, come on in. Everything takes longer.
Wow.
It's. And even like we're mitigating risks to an enormous degree, but like I get weirded out when we're in interiors, it's everybody's being extraordinarily safe, but it's still, you're in an interior, you're breathing the air that a lot of different people have rotated through.
And that's the deal, man. That's what they're saying right now is what's coming off is if you're having friends over, keep them in the backyard.
Yeah,
because just your air conditioning system, and buildings aren't new.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of them, and even if they are, there's all that, and then so
it's really, really tough.
It's tough, and even if you get 200 N95 masks and put them on the staff, everybody, it's just, I mean, Rust was on top of it at that table read. I mean, it was plastic bags. Everyone wore gloves at the craft service. Like everything was, it was already popping. But
I mean, Melissa's new feature, that was testing the entire crew 3 times a week. That was every safety protocol humanly possible, and the set would have been probably this unbelievably like the safest set I've ever been on, but. Then all the exterior, all the other things started happening. Locations are dropping out, which I get. I mean, school, like we were going to be at La Roche for a big long stretch, and that's gone. And I get it. I mean, you know, how are they going to allow us in when they're keeping students? I don't know. It's a really funky time, brother.
Well, before, I mean, I could talk to you on that, but we got Chris Ivey here. I'd love to bring him back in and just kind of shoot the shit here with us. Yeah, we can have multiple frames here on this thing. We can have up to like 6 people come on at once.
Whoa!
What is this? What is this?
Rocket Man and Nightcrawler. Okay.
Where'd you find that picture?
Is that you in a mesh top with a fur vest?
No, they put. It looks like they put me on Rocket Man. I think that's. I think they put me on an Elton John with the headshot.
Work, man. You would have never known, man. That was a sweet.
Go back to that picture.
Oh God, thanks, Chris.
You're welcome. Oh, you could be in the outfit from Black Swan too. So.
Well, that's true too. You know, at least there's a little picture of Gabe King though that pops in there. Oh, that's me too on the corner.
Flashing up.
That's a picture from. Did you guys just raid my Facebook?
What was that from, dude?
That was from True West. We did a production of True West last October. No, was that October? Yeah, I guess last.
It was last year.
It was last year, man. We did that. We did 3 plays last year. We haven't done anything this year because COVID basically dropped when we were in rehearsal for the first one, and the second one was going to be starting now, and then the third one was going to be in October, November. And I'm pissed about all of them, but the show that I was like, I mean, we were going to do American Buffalo. Early on, it was great, and we had the set design, and that was going to pop off. It was great cast, ready to roll. That went away, and there was this other play but it has 9 actors in that tiny little space, and it's badass. It's like literally, it's like a combination of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly meets Kill Bill meets you know, but like everything you can imagine, and yeah, but like people get burned alive on stage. I was like the timing is just really shitty for my Aisha Harris play. But anyway, yeah, so it breaks my heart. I mean, we're still hoping to do it, but I don't know if I can do stuff in my theater.
Yeah,
you know, because once you social distance everybody out, I'm looking at 18 seats.
Yeah, big time.
Right.
I mean, it's a 70-seat theater to begin with.
Yeah.
I can't even. We just started doing a thing with the restaurant down there that we were going to start showing movies and have food come out with. We did Pulp Fiction, and then had like 15 different drinks and food come out with it. We did that on March 8th, and then we were going to do a couple other movies. We were even going to do the Lebowski, Stevo.
Nice.
And did you know Pete Spinda ran the Lebowski Fest in Pittsburgh?
No, which one? I've been to a couple of the Pittsburgh ones.
Pete?
Was it the one at Spirit, or which one was it?
Yeah,
I went to that. It was fun.
Yeah, I think I saw you there. You were supposed to do the thing with me, and then you walked.
What?
You were supposed to be part of the festival with me. Now that I think about it, you and I were supposed to be like, there was like the sequel to The Big Lebowski. We're going to write it, and you and I were supposed to read everybody's sequel ideas and pick the winner. What? And you went you couldn't do it at night. You walked. It was supposed to be you and me, and then you went early because you were excited about the thing. You and the missus went early, but you had to go somewhere. You had a function that you had to go to that you couldn't do it.
I vaguely remember that, dude.
I'm glad you vaguely remember it.
Well, anyway. Hey, man.
Hey, there's Pete. Pete, meet Stevo.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Well, goodish. How are you?
It's more like helicopter Pete right now.
Oh yeah, because I got the phone on behind me.
The horror. But that's it. But yeah, so all right, Pete, get out of here. I'm just kidding. Stick around. So guys, have you thought of any other movies other than Nightcrawler and Rocket Man?
Oh Jesus, dude.
You still not get the reference there?
No, it could be. It doesn't have to be the last year. It could be the last 10 years. You could say Amores Perros, and I'll call it a win.
That's pretty
it's like
decent.
when you used to walk into Blockbuster and you're like, "Fuck, I'm frozen. I can't think of a fucking thing."
Right now. I know what's like 100 things, and it's just like. Shoot,
TV shows count?
Yeah, sure.
So here's the sensitive side of me. My wife, for months, for over a year, tried to get me to watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I mean, just was
Yeah.
hacking on me. It's the best thing ever. Oh my God, you got to fucking watch this show. Oh my God. And then one night she's like, fuck it. This is what we're fucking, you have no choice. And then we ate it alive for like every single night for the next like 3 or 4 weeks.
Wasn't she in town shooting something recently?
Yeah, I never can trust rumors, but I kind of didn't hear great things. But
That's okay. I guess
I
they're
don't
not
know.
coming back
Could be
for her.
bullshit. I don't know. People talk, but yeah. But that show was fucking great. It's just like not my cup of tea in any way, shape, or form.
Okay, full disclosure. I've missed all of television. Right. I think I watched Game of Thrones. I missed The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, and The Wire.
Oh
wow!
watch
Why
The
you here?
Wire, dude? Watch season 2 of The Wire like tomorrow, man.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that gets me, man.
Season 4, man. Ooh.
That's the
Season
thing that
4
gets
is
me,
it for
right?
me with The Wire.
So The Wire just ended when the Kill Point started, and half the cast from The Wire was on the Kill Point.
Yeah.
And people were freaking out, and I had no clue what they were freaking out about. Like I didn't know. Like I thought Michael K. Williams had the coolest voice, but I basically he talked to me about when he was a dancer.
Omar be coming, yo.
You know what I mean? He became like he's like my favorite across the board. He was Chalky White, and then after that, and in Boardwalk Empire, and like he's like my favorite.
He's amazing.
He's one of the few like celebrities that I follow on all social media. I'm like I love what he's doing now. But anyway, yeah, I got to see him in that. I got to see.
Fucking
What?
that show is amazing.
But go ahead,
There's
Chris.
this one actress of Pittsburgh that was on Boardwalk Empire. What is her name?
I forget. She used to sing at the Shadow Lounge on occasion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Incredible singer. You know, so
Etta.
dig it.
You're not talking about Etta, are you? Etta Carr?
No. Younger.
Younger.
Played the love interest for I think it was Chalky White. Was it a love interest? Was one of the love interests on one of the seasons. I believe the last season of Boardwalk Empire was in a bunch of episodes. It was a big
Margot
role.
B.
Yeah, that's it. Margot
Her
B.
name was
Rachel B. Or Margot? Somebody Richard.
Margot.
Margot. Yeah, it's Margot B.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just trying to check it out.
Arsiki and those.
Right, yeah. You know, he's connected. But yeah, I mean, TV shows. I mean, honestly, man, did that. I watched the documentary. I watched the Last Dance. Loved that. Had a Pittsburgh connection on the production team.
I hate fucking Jordan.
You hate Jordan? Did you hate him before or after?
Oh, way before. I'm glad I never bought air shit. So anyway, back to the story. Sorry, go ahead.
No, this is. I would rather have you guys talk about anything right now than me tell a story.
What's the hatred, man?
Yeah,
I'm not a huge fan, but what's up, Chris? What's that all about?
Oh, Michael Jordan. I was just like,
well, from college or what?
No, he came here to visit. I think he was here for like playing golf with Lemieux or something. Or shit.
We talked about this last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Carl Kurlander was on last night. No, go ahead.
Oh,
that he just showed up. He showed up at the Land of the Dead premiere.
Yeah. It was around that time. It was then.
There's Carl and Schumacher.
Yeah. Joe Schumacher. He passed away recently, didn't he?
Yeah, like a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Carl said that he was like, yeah, the only thing that it's sad. The only thing he remembers for is St. Elmo's Fire and nipples on a Batman outfit.
Yep.
But I gotta tell you though, I mean, there was more wrong with
Lost
that
Boys,
Batman
man.
movie.
The Lost Boys.
Lost Boys was amazing.
Yeah.
Right. But like, there was more to that. There was more wrong with that Batman movie, with the Clooney Batman movie, than the nipples on the nipples on the outfit.
More. Very little right about that film.
We talked about DC Cab.
Yeah, he had Scarface to do with that, didn't he?
Schumacher did DC Cab, and Carl PA'd on it.
Right.
And I guess he was.
Oh, really?
That was like the fact that it's even discussed as a legitimate movie is amazing. That movie,
Did you ever see Tigerland?
Tigerland?
Oh yeah.
Wait, what's Tigerland?
Yeah. That's probably, I think, one of like Schumacher's best movies. It's like a military movie with Colin Farrell in it. Yeah. Check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I haven't seen that, but all right. Yeah, but okay, Chris. TV shows. Anything recently?
Well, let's see. I really dig Money Heist. I love watching The Chai, Showtime show by Lena Waithe. I'll tell you what, man. I don't know how the hell they'll pull off the third season, but I love the TV show Pose.
Oh,
you ever see
yeah.
that show?
Oh, God. Yeah, with Billy.
Fucking brilliant, man. Fucking brilliant. You know.
And my
it's
buddy
just-
Gil's in that, too. He was in, did you see the wrestling play we did at the Ace Hotel? The elaborate entrance of Chad Deedy?
Fucking bad.
Yeah, that was one that I wish that the entire world would. We had a short run. I mean, we sold it out. I mean, it was great. I mean, we added seats and all that kind of stuff. But it was the one that I wish all my friends would have seen. I mean, I love them all. They're all like my kids. But like that particular play with the actors that were in it, they were just amazing. And we had real wrestling. But it was like straight studio wrestling style. There were live promos, ringside stuff, and the guy who was the lead. His name Gil Prez Abraham. He's in Pose. He's one of the regulars in Pose. He was like the lead of the narrator and the lead of the play, and he got booked that show right after. But yeah, and Billy Porter.
You know, oh yeah.
I mean, God.
Did you guys ever used to watch wrestling when you were younger?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. So. Like before I moved here to be a manager at a movie theater, and it was like the Mid Atlantic wrestlers were all there. So there were like certain ones like the Koloffs, Iron Nikita. This one guy, Ricky Steamboat, would come in. He was the biggest fucking asshole on the face of the earth. I hate that fucker.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
But the coolest guy, Dick.
He's so sweet.
You know,
He was the baby face.
Not in real life.
No. Wow. I think the best person ever the one person who I loved the most who would come in every week was Ric Flair, who would bring his two kids. Mm-hmm. So like his kids would go to the movie theater, he's just hanging out in the lobby of bullshit, you know. And it's just like I love Ric Flair. I
adore Ric Flair. Ric Flair is probably my number one. So it's all right. It's all right. We can agree on that. Even your hatred of Michael Jordan and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. But Flair's dope.
Yeah.
Wait, his kids. His daughter is like a wrestler. Now, and she's like the champion. Like she's like she has the belt.
No love for
like
Bruno.
11.
Okay, I have love for Bruno. I have love for Bruno, but I have mad love for Bruno Sammartino. I have stories about like run-ins with Bruno Sammartino, but. Yeah, I'm not going to go into all of them, but I was shocked that when we had Bruno versus Kurt Angle in our Jagoff poll.
Yeah, that's right.
And by the way, how's that going? Everybody voting? Anybody voting at home? We're gonna unveil the winner of that right now. Dave, how's everything going with the in-show Jagoff poll? The Great Race versus the Pierogi Race.
Dave,
you had to.
Talking to me over here?
Yeah, what's going on with the pierogi race?
I have no idea. We were working on that.
All right, get out of there. Bring Chris back.
I just came in to tell you nothing useful whatsoever.
Okay, great. Well, thank you. You're not the best in the business for nothing. That's Dave Mansueto, folks. He's running the show. So what were we talking about? Was I talking about wrestling? I just got sidetracked.
Yeah, you were talking about Bruno Sammartino.
Oh, Bruno Sammartino. Okay, so first off, Bruno, like, you know, he used to work out at the same track as my dad. Like, my dad would jog on the track, and Bruno would run on the dirt hill around the track, around, like, the whole park, out in the North Hills. And, like, a little me, like you know, ran up, was like, Mr. Sammartino, when you're done running, working out, could you maybe come back and sign an autograph for me? He's like, sure, kid, all right, absolutely. And he never came back. He never came back. So I kind of harbored resentment. I like sat on the hood of my dad's car for like hours waiting for him to come back around. He never came back. And then I ran into it at the Phantom of the Attic later, a couple of years later. The Phantom of the Attic was at the Parkway Center Mall, and they had like baseball cards and comic books. And so I used to hang out there when I was a kid. And so Bruno was there like doing a signing, and I was like, but you had to like buy something, and I wasn't gonna buy something to have him sign it. And he was like, "Get over here, kid!" And you know, he signed the flyer that the thing was for me, and I was like, you know, 5 years ago, I was chasing you to try to get this autograph. He was like, I don't know, I got too many hits to the head, like that kind of thing. So that was my brutal thing. And then as an adult, I had a chance to see him, and I was wearing a sandwich board. I had a horrible mustache and a horrible hangover, and I just didn't have the guts to talk to him. So that's it. But I thought Bruno was going to run away with it early. 50 people voted for Bruno in the first 15 minutes, right? And then something happened with Kurt Angle, and like 600 people voted. Like it was like it just started like popping off, and he rolled. I think he only had like 1,000 votes. So we're gonna see what happens. I think he's going up against. I don't know who he's going up against when it comes up. I forget. He's going to be he's going against the Deer Hunter.
Oh, come on.
So it'll be the Deer Hunter. We had the Deer Hunter versus Inspector Gadget. It was we wanted everyone to have a little bit of a joke, a little bit of laughter. Pittsburgh movies. Yeah. And we were trying to lighten the mood. And then the Deer Hunter did defeat Inspector Gadget, but now it's going to be Kurt Angle versus the Deer Hunter. We're going to see what happens.
You get slaughtered.
Okay, quick question. So what are you guys' favorite? I love that we're sidetracked talking bullshit. What are your favorite Pittsburgh movies that are shot in Pittsburgh or made in Pittsburgh?
Wonder Boys is fucking amazing. Wonder Boys is so fucking good, man.
It's a good movie.
Yeah. I think sorry,
go ahead, Chris.
Oh, what about you, Chris?
I think my personal is Perks of Being a Wallflower. I think that's my personal favorite.
That's a great movie.
Yeah,
that's a great movie.
I mean,
I don't know. Silence of the Lambs is
so good.
Is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, The Dark Knight Rises did pay my second mortgage. So I got.
I thought Bane killed you, man. What the fuck are you doing here?
I don't know, man. It was a whole. You thought I was dead, but they needed to keep that PG-13 rating. So I'm still alive. So they let me come back. That was
the 18. They cut back to you getting up off the ground.
That's basically what just in case after the Jeep flipped 6 times and like all the blanks were shot. No, there was no blood. There was no blood when I got shot, mind you.
Steven, that should be our side project where we put together all of Patrick's scenes from everything he's ever made.
Oh my god!
And put them all together.
That would be fucking amazing.
It'd be amazing because it would be the same goddamn thing. I'd be the same angry asshole, just getting older, just getting slightly older. Like you would just see like hair falling out and going gray. Like I turned into like this one time I got a role. I was on a spree of roles of the same. It was like 2 years of like every movie the exact same thing. I guess before they started coming out, and I guess it was basically just like studio wrestling anger. And like the one role, the character name was literally Angry Guy.
Call Patrick Jordan.
We need an angry guy. Get Patrick on the horn right now.
Is he available?
Yeah, man. So yeah, you could try to piece them together, but
you were on Super Ninja. Am I crazy? You were on Super Ninjas.
I was on Super Ninjas
for like half.
Dude. Right? So Super Ninjas. I wasn't wearing a mask. Super Ninjas. Well, as you remember, they for whatever reason they didn't ask for the air conditioning.
Oh, I'm well aware of it.
Chris, it was like 110 degrees in this thing, right? So I go into the it was a season, and they had kids in the thing. They were like underage kids were the leads in this, right?
Yeah.
And so it was so hot, and so I got there, and they put me in a friggin' a Dickie turtleneck, a rubber shirt, a members only black members only jacket, cargo pants, boots, and a tassel cap. Right, and I'm like a criminal. I'm like a hoodlum that like the ninjas fight and catch early on or whatever. Right, and there's like a little fight scene. I sweat. Literally, you could wring out. It was wool on me, like on my skin. So I took off my jacket to like cool off. They kept changing my T-shirt because the poor thing, the thing was, there was a straight line from where the Dickie ended. So it was like a 2-tone shirt. It was like totally like the sweatiest sweat of all time, and then it hadn't cut through the wool yet. So they had to keep. I was like, just spray me down. Quit drying the shirts. Just make me wet from top to bottom. And yeah, I had forgotten about Super Ninjas.
Oh my god, that shit, dude! Like we would makeup would run in and clean the kids off, and then we would start rolling. And like 10 seconds into a take, you'd see sweat like
Funniest thing was though, like the one kid had to check out because it was like her hours were up.
Oh yeah,
They brought somebody else in with a mask on. It didn't matter. They said the same lines. They could just
we'd shoot over. I mean, the shit we did because of those kids. Like, because that's the one thing you can't fuck around on, man. When kids pumpkin, they're out. They're done. Like, I did a job in New York last year, and I kept telling this director, I'm like, look, man, this isn't like, you know, I'm not talking about overtime. Like, when they're done, they're fucking done. And he wouldn't believe me. And every goddamn night, it was insanity. Like, we need to get 15 shots in 20 minutes. And he's screaming at his DP buddy. And the DP's like, fuck you. We should have known this. It's just, kids are fucking crazy.
Yeah, and plus add to the fact that it was 120 degrees.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this place has air conditioning.
It's so
like it was amazing. So anyway, yeah, thank you, Amanda, for pointing out the quote there. All right, so guys, we're gonna announce. We're not going anywhere. We're gonna announce the winner of the in-show poll. I think we're ready. Okay, talk to me, Goose.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! The final results, they are in the battle of the pierogi race versus the other thing, whatever the heck it was, and the final results are St. Elmo's Fire with 60%.
That was yesterday's, Dave.
Oh, I made a mistake.
That was yesterday's.
Oh, it's actually Tessaros Burger. 81% of the vote. Takes that right.
Okay. All right, Dave. We already did that one, Dave.
We will take off the pierogi race with 93% versus the grade race, which has a pitiful 7% of the
one
vote.
Goddamn vote.
This
you
is
couldn't get
tiring.
more than one goddamn
this is so
vote.
exhausting.
Okay, cool.
The show is so exhausting.
It was exhausting because you just repeated. Okay, that's good, man. That's good. Thank you. Dave Mansueto, folks. The voice in the booth.
Put on a fucking mask.
Springsteen. Telling you what right now. Hey, and by the way, tell them what Batman says. Tell Stevo and Chris.
Wear a mask.
I'm not afraid to be seen standing up to these guys.
The mask's not for you. It's to protect the people you care about.
That's right, folks. That's right. We didn't show the clip, but you heard the voice. You had it there. It's from the movie. I had seen that film, so I was able to remember that and have Dave cut that little clip out there.
Put on a fucking mask.
That's Bruce Springsteen, and the boss knows. All right, so what we're going to do now is, Dave, I hate to put you back to work. Why don't you announce the overnight poll, and we can talk about it.
All right, baby, the overnight, this one's going to be big. You got to go to togetherpgh.com/vote to participate in this Jagoff event, and we have a doozy. It's a real doozy. It's a Pittsburgh doozy. It is Donnie Iris versus The Silence of the Lambs. I don't know who's more perverted, Donnie Iris or Professor Eats His Face Off Man. So it's up to you to decide between Donnie Iris, the creepiest, stalkiest Pittsburgh rocker that I can't say no to, or The Silence of the Lambs, the movie that never stops breathing.
That was a great intro. You made up for anything with that, Dave. Also, Pete Spinda, props to you. There were actual lambs. There were actual lambs in that graphic. So that was good. Good. You really.
And
took
if you
it
look
there.
closely, there's also an iris.
Oh my God, are you serious? Okay, so this is round 2. This is the kind of stuff that goes on. We had Donnie Iris versus the Clarks in round 1, and it was Silence of the Lambs versus, I believe, House Guest. To move on. So Silence of the Lambs moved on, and then it was going to be an Alex Coleman double feature, but we couldn't get Alex on the show when it was those two. But that's straight up. You guys at home can vote right now. Starting at togetherpgh.com/vote. You can vote for that. Go for the winner. See who moves on to the Sweet 16. don't forget, there's a Venmo there, and you can hit that at togetherpgh.com. Also, one thing I forgot to mention was Red Star Roasters is also sponsoring us here tonight. Go to redstarroasters.com and use the coupon code togetherpgh. You'll receive 10% off your order, and they are still doing free delivery right now. redstarroasters.com, the only bird-friendly roaster here in Pittsburgh.
Don't forget, they're going to be on the show next week.
And next week...
Meet the man behind the birds.
You're going to meet the man behind the birds. He's going to do a check-in. We're going to talk about it. We can ask all the questions like, what does it mean to be a bird-friendly roaster? How do you make coffee? These kinds of questions.
Questions like this.
Questions like this. Okay, good. That's a great freeze frame. He's got birds on his shoulder. Amazing. That's exciting. That was from week 3 of the show. Actually, we're on week 17 here.
Yeah,
This is almost episode 60. So yeah, we got a little time capsule going on here right now. So okay, so that stuff's aside. We can keep talking. You guys can go. But what else? Okay, so Ivy, why do you hate Michael Jordan?
Well, before I go back to that, I've never seen the Donnie Iris show.
Okay, let's talk Donnie Iris. Okay,
Donnie.
good. I'm with that. Donnie.
Yeah.
You've never seen him live? He can pretty much still wail. I'll tell you what you can do if you want to go down a rabbit hole of 80s fun. His music videos.
Oh my God.
Are fucking amazing. and I gotta be totally real here. I wish we could show them on the show, but we would get flagged for like they'd Spotify us and copyright us and shut down the show if we did them. Otherwise, we would run them right now. Oh, it's happened. Like if we play any copywritten music, we get flagged and shut down. But we're gonna expect that when we show the Rocky question mark movie. When we bring that back, Chris, you're gonna have to come and maybe intro it. Because it's a classic piece of cinema. Okay, so Donnie Iris, if you watch the videos, it's amazing. Like right now, like I guarantee you, if they still made music videos, I don't know if they do anymore, but everyone would be trying to mimic these videos. They would try to make these like this is so not hip. It's hip.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. I wish we could pull it out there, but like go down a rabbit hole after we get off here tonight. Google Donnie Iris and make that happen.
One of my prized possessions is a Brighton hot dog shop. It's a Donnie Iris glass, plastic Donnie Iris glass, has the man on it. It's like I've got a little spotlight on it. It's fucking amazing.
Well, Donnie does other things outside of the music. He's got lots of different hustles.
What's
core?
What is that?
Like out of RoboCop or something.
Is that real? Is that for real?
Yeah, all Dave did was Google him.
We should call that number and see who answers. It might be
Dave, can
Donnie
you
the man?
Dave, can you pull? Oh my God, it's Donnie Iris. Look at that. You're a hometown lender.
That's not Donnie Iris. That's his brother Lonnie Iris.
That's oh my God. Okay, Dave, can you do me a favor? Can you mute? Can you find the video, or I'll find it and send it to you? Can you mute it just so they can see it without sound?
We're talking about Love Is Like Rock or Aaliyah. Which one are we talking about?
No. I want one of the. Those are good ones. I want the one that's like, all right, hold on. Talk amongst yourselves, guys. Chris, talk about Donnie Iris, and Stevo, tell the Sounds of the Lamb story.
At the same time.
Yeah, go.
What's the name of the person in Silence of the Lambs? The character, you know, like the big bad guy.
Buffalo Bill.
And Silence
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill. Donnie Iris can make a good Buffalo Bill.
Oh no, he wouldn't. I don't think he. No.
Come on, he's trying to merge all these plot points. Give him a man.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel you. Oh, here it is. It's Agnes. That's the video you need to show. Agnes.
Okay.
Dave.
Okay.
Make it happen.
What's up, hot sauce?
All right. So anyway, yeah, you guys have been getting some props here. Yeah, but Donnie Iris is also amazing. Like he's super good guy. Like cool, but he can still hit the high notes. Aaliyah and Love Is Like a Rock are the big ones.
The big hits.
But Agnes will make you fall in love with the man.
Oh, yeah.
Dave's going to pull up the YouTube of it here, and it's going to. You can't hear it, but I wish you could.
Can you sing along with it, or is that violating the songwriter?
No, I don't know the words well enough. I wish I could. I wish I could do it for you, but it's classic.
So we're in a country western bar, apparently. Oh, no shit!
Whoa!
Just let it play. We're talking here. All right, just to give you some idea. This is not it. That's Chris Penn.
Looking better than the body has a right to.
What are you doing, Dave?
This is Agnes. I looked up Agnes. I went to YouTube.com. I plugged in.
Hold on a second. This is a shame.
Chris Penn.
All right, I just sent the clip.
I want to see that now. What does Chris Penn do, man?
I don't know. Rest his soul.
Come on.
Okay, rest his soul. So I just sent Dave the link. Nobody gets to leave until we show this thing here. So anyway.
Wear a mask.
I'm not afraid to be seen standing up to these guys.
The mask's not for you. It's to protect the people you care about.
Josh Gordon-Levitt as Robin. Hello.
Joe. I'll call him Joe because we're tight. No, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Wow.
Super sweet guy. Super nice. Everybody on that movie was legitimately cool. Now, Morgan Freeman had like an aura around him that it was to the point where nobody even wanted to talk. Like no one even wanted, like, it was like no one made eye contact.
That's so
you know what I mean? He was super cool, you know. My conversation with him was this. He was like, hello. That was it. He just said hello. And like, I had one friggin' line in the scene, like literally one line, and I almost dropped it because all I was hearing in my head was Andy Dufresne, Andy Dufresne, Andy Dufresne. like that's all it was. That's all I could hear. So it was pretty much, yeah. Now check this out. This is Agnes, and it's about like a murder and a love and all kinds of stuff. So wait till it gets good here. It's just like you can hear the song. This is a shame. Probably me with glasses on. No. Who does he remind me of? I don't know. Donnie Iris, man.
Yeah, right. He's Donnie Iris, man.
So he's getting beat up because that's Agnes's boyfriend.
I see.
And he pulls a gun on him. There's Agnes. That's Agnes.
What is this, 80s?
Oh yeah. This is 80s. This is new wave as AF. Like, so watch this later. Just like we can keep talking, but like you can narrate this. But like,
oh, tough guy. Nice use of color and black.
Oh.
That guy's got some good eye makeup on his penny loafers.
Yo, with white socks.
They're gonna rumble.
Okay, never mind.
This is before MJ. I think he started this. This guy.
Be cool, Donnie. Be cool.
He's bringing it though. You know, in music videos, you don't always. Oh no! Oh, Agnes gets in the mix.
Did she shoot?
Oh, it tells the story. I think she shot, but I don't think they had the blanks. She's dressed like Sandy at the end of Grease. Tell me about it, stud. Oh man, I wish I could hear this right now to get the. I wish I would sing it for you if I knew it.
Please.
But anyway,
and there they go.
There they go. I guess
after. No, he's alive.
No, Donnie's dead. Wait, what's happening? No, this is where she gets the gun to kill him.
No.
It's a flashback. Oh, he was running away.
Look at Donnie. He's just.
And she was. Oh wow, she really got her back into it.
Uh-oh.
Dave's just playing his music, so that's the only music. That's the only copyright-free music we have. So anyway, these are the kind of videos that you could find if you do it, and if you heard the music, it would really add something to it. But I think it stands alone.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is film at its finest.
But cool, yeah. This is what it is, man. Like music videos. I think that's the wave of the future. I think the kids might start watching them again.
I miss them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they still make them, right?
Yeah.
It's just not the same kind of a vibe. There's not like a television channel, and everything's YouTube, so everything kind of just shoots right to that.
Yeah, and there's usually not a story.
Yeah.
Chris, I know you shot. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I said, I know you shot music videos. Steve, have you shot music videos over the?
Yeah, one a year ago, and then one in 1999. So it's been a while between the two. Oh, damn. Agnes is in, man.
I can't believe the song's still going.
I know. What is this, like an 8-minute song?
I thought this was like going to be like a little bit of a, little Boy Named Sue kind of a quick little story, sing-songy.
Settle in, boys.
Settle in, boys. Well, anyway, I didn't expect us to talk through the whole thing either. We basically just Mystery Science Theater, a muted Tawny Iris video, but like, yeah, that kind of stuff. But like, I mean, I've seen him play a few times. I mean,
in the last couple of years, probably one of my favorite music videos I made is for this one artist named Holly Hood.
Oh yeah,
incredible artist here in Pittsburgh.
She was on the show.
Oh really?
Yeah.
She's the best. I love her.
Yeah, she's great.
And so I did this music video for her called "No Sleep to Brooklyn," and it's really strong. It's I would say if people want to look it up, just go to YouTube, Holly Hood, "No Sleep to Brooklyn," and yeah, I kind of wanted to do it in a style of Honorito in a way.
Oh, get out!
And
really?
yeah, and it's just like it's just but she's just incredible, and I think that's probably the best music video I've made or so. But, look at this! She's like a genie,
Awesome. Yeah, we should keep talking since we can't probably listen to this one. I don't know if we could listen to this one. But yeah, she was great. She spit a little bit a cappella for us, but we talked about basically everything else, which she's involved in so much stuff.
Oh yeah, she does everything. I mean?
Yeah, so we just to try to get through that. Yeah, but she's great.
Yeah, local bands. I got to give a shout out to Meeting of Important People.
They're great.
Yeah, that pilot. I directed a TV pilot a couple years ago for Mulligan. We got to kill Patrick in it and fuck up his vintage shoes, putting blood all over him.
You did.
Thank you. But
I didn't care.
Their music was so fucking dead on, and they were like, "Yeah, use whatever you want. They're like, go nuts for free."
Yeah, they're good. They're good guys.
Yeah,
Mulligan. That's right. I was angry.
Yeah, man, you had good reason to be. There was supposed to be a little tiny bullet hit, and like a gallon of blood went on your shoes that you bought. I see.
Yeah, they did. It was all my own shit.
Yeah.
But except the shirt was not mine. But yeah.
And good times you lay in there trying to direct like a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old.
I was whispering. I was whispering in their ears and trying to get them.
It was good time.
Yeah, well, as I'm laying there, I'm like their dead father. Hey, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. But yeah, so I'm like dying, like bleeding, and like in between takes. I'm like, here, buddy, all you gotta do is just kind of just chill right here. Like, yeah.
We had to wait till that kid really started crying. Unfortunately,
I was there.
Clenched up and really started crying, and we're like, "Bro, get up there, shoot him!"
I was just laying there thinking about my shoes. Blood everywhere.
And like, I think the first thing you said was like, these are my fucking shoes.
I was like, these are my fucking shoes. What the fuck happened?
Blood over your vintage shoes.
And then I was like, just keep shooting. They're not getting better. They're not coming back. Just keep shooting. Like you were about to like make a scene for me. I was like, no, it's good. No one needs to replace these. We're good. Let's just keep shooting, buddy. I know where you're at right now. Stay focused. You got kids on the set. Steve told him, was like, "Oh, you didn't know there was going to be a lot of blood?"
Yeah. Really? Like he loved it too. We were all like, "Ooh, way too much." He's like, "That was great. I loved it."
Nice. I should have known better. To trust that. After I almost got my hand blown off in Mysteries of Pittsburgh.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was when
I never saw that movie.
You're not alone, Chris.
You did, and I wish I hadn't.
I was gonna say you should. Yeah, it was like
McNulty. I did like meeting McNulty. But yeah.
He's dope. I got to spend some time with him on that, and then he was really good friends with my friend Jimmy Savetic, who passed away last year in February. And so through Jimmy, I hung out with him. We did poetry readings, and we did a bunch of stuff like that.
Jimmy Savetic. I wish I had a drink for Jimmy Savetic right now.
Oh yeah, man. He's the.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
drink. I'll drink. I'll finish this one for Jimmy.
Yeah. Cheers to that dude, man. Oh man.
Yeah, he's like legend doesn't do him justice. You know what I mean? I was able. I spoke at his memorial service, and there were thousands of people there, man. I mean, it filled the convention center in Monroeville.
He touched a lot of people, man.
He did.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
what was funny to me about Jimmy is that, I mean, Jimmy Pittsburgh, but what was funny about Jimmy, so I was gonna I wrote a couple of things down that I was gonna talk about. I wanted to keep it together and just kind of just talk about this, but everybody had a similar story that he would call them constantly, right? So it was the chief of police, the head of this, the head of that. Everyone was like, I was like, Jimmy, call me 25 times a day. Rich Fitzgerald speaks. He's like, Jimmy, you got my cell phone number somehow. And he just put me up. And like literally, he would call me 15 times a day, sometimes 15 times in an hour if I didn't answer. He would just keep calling, and then you'd be mad, like you'd be like working on something. You'd be like, "Jimmy, what are you doing?" He's like, "Kid, we're gonna change the world." And you're like, "All right, yeah, all right, we are Jimmy, we are Jimmy. We're gonna change. How are we gonna do this? Okay, well, I'm in McKees Rocks right now. Well, we're gonna do a poetry reading in Monroeville Mall in an hour and a half. I need you. All right." So I left the Keys Rocks, drove out to Monroeville, did the reading, and then went back and cleaned up the event that was in McKees Rocks. Like literally, I couldn't say no to the guy. But anyway, So Nick Nolte on that, but like. Nolte was a trip on that movie, but the movie, like Rawson Marshall Thurber directed that. He directed one movie before that, and that was Dodgeball. And then since then, he's been making everything with The Rock and Kevin Hart, and he's making tons of movies, all like buddy cop kind of things. He shows up in a lot of them too. He was all right. He was an all right guy. Like he came up as kind of like a frat dude, like just like a cool, like he wanted to play catch with football between takes and stuff. Everything was all right, but like literally I was, angry and, beat up the lead guy and said some homophobic shit, and then then got shot, like a pot gets shot out of my hands. And they brought in the squib guy from like I Am Legend or something from New York, and he was wearing a Hawaiian shirt and a tank top. I'll never forget this. So we get the first take. I go to do the thing, and I hold the pot over my head, and it's supposed to get shot in my hands. Squib goes off. Now the wire's going up my crotch, gaff tape down my arm, right, and to the squib in the little hole in the bottom of the vase. And the gun goes off. The thing doesn't break. Doesn't break the breakaway vase, right? So next take we do it again. He does something to it. I guess he adds another squib or something.
Adds more. Yeah.
Adds more. Doesn't break, but there's a hole in it. So I just drop the pot and go on with the scene just so they have something. So we got to do it again. Right. So more. You keep putting more in there, and now we're down. We're down to the last pot, right? So it's the last breakaway pot, and they're not. It's not shattering like it's supposed to. So they're talking like looking at me off to the side. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what they're saying. I go, oh fuck, they're gonna put like dynamite in this thing. They're gonna put C4 in this thing, right? So it's there, and the guy comes up to me sweating, right? He's like sweating profusely, and he kind of looks around. He kind of like was like a chubby, try to be an Andrew Dice Clay hairdo with the fucking white thing, and he hands me the pot, and he goes, "You see this dot right here? Make sure this is pointed to the ceiling and not the crown of your head."
Oh, lovely.
Just make sure this is not pointed to your head. So I'm like, okay, all right. And so I'm practicing exactly how I'm going to do it, right, with the pot, and I'm just trying to get it in my bones because I have to yell and do the scene and then do the thing, right? Right? And just then, everybody clears the room. Everything's gone. They're in another room. And I hear the director's voice say, "Hey, Patrick, yeah, we're really in tight on you this time, so try to get that pot as close to the crown of your head as you can." And I'm like, "Are you fucking shitting me? Like, you're kidding me." I look into the pot. It is wired, man. There are charges all around. They've perforated it with a knife, right, from the inside to carve it to make this thing shatter. And I have earplugs in, right, too, because of the gun that Sarsgaard shooting at me, right? So I go to do this thing, I scream the homophobic line, blah 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 blah. I bring the pot up, boom, it goes off, right? It shatters. My hands clack together. There's glass. The glass is everywhere. I'm hearing ringing in my ears, even with the with the things in, and I can't feel my hands, but they feel kind of cold and wet, right? So I'm thinking to myself, my fingers are blown off. Don't look. I somehow remember to turn the right way, so you don't see the gaff tape going down my arm, and I turn the right way and finish out the scene and leave and kind of run and kind of take off. And they go, cut, great, moving on. So they're moving on to the next because there's like the love scene is next. So they're trying to sandwich these things both in, and yeah. So I guess I told this story once before in 17 episodes, Amanda. I guess you listen to all these, and so that's fine. I told this once before when they ran the clip of it. Okay, so
I'm riveted. I need to hear the end.
So I go. So I look down, and there's the gunpowder everywhere, and all the skin is off my knuckles.
Get the
right. It's off, but it's petrified. It's like white. You know what I mean? It's like scared, right? And so I go, oh shit, and I go, hey, I need a paper towel or something. I'm going to start bleeding soon.
Little something.
Right? And they were like, what? You're fine. I'm like, I'm going to start bleeding soon. All right, just give me a paper towel. So they bring somebody over. They go, oh yeah, you're fine. It doesn't look like you're going to bleed. And I made a fist, and like blood literally squirted out. And they were like, oh. So they ran and got the medic or whatever to like wrap me up. In the meantime, this dude fucking comes up to me with the Hawaiian shirt. He goes, no one likes a fucking crybaby.
Oh!
I was like, bro, I can't punch you right now because I don't have a hand. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm sorry, Amanda. If anybody else is watching that happened to be tuning in episode 13, I apologize to hear the same story twice. But Richard Parsakian said he could take care of me with some new vintage shoes. So that's good too.
Yeah, I remember that real quick. I was on an independent film with Tom Atkins, I don't know, 15 years ago, and we're supposed to shoot him in a scene, and it was a low budget film, and I just hear him, like, I've worked with Tom now. I worked with him as a PA, an assistant director, and as a director.
I love Tom.
Fucking greatest guy. And I just hear him raging. We're shooting something else, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? They're prepping him to get shot, and he's on fire. And I go downstairs, I'm like, Tom, what the fuck is going on? He's like, I'm not a fucking idiot. They're taping 3 full loads to my chest on the skin. I'm like, what?
What?
You're literally big ass fucking gun loads. And you do one and you put a little plate on. No, they're taping 3 loads to his fucking skin. And he's rightfully flipping out. And it was just like, are we like that fucking stupid? And, we could have, if he hadn't bitched, we would have probably put him in front of the cameras and rolled on a massive chunk of flesh getting blown out of his chest, man.
If one of those is turned the wrong way, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, let alone.
Nothing's. Yeah, it's crazy.
And that's Tom Atkins,
right?
That's not like asshole number one. Like first time on a like a large movie. Yeah. That's not angry guy. That's Tom fucking Atkins.
Come on.
I guarantee you, his character had a name in that movie. He did not have a number attached to it, because that's what people ask me, like, what kind of roles do you get? I'm like, a lot of numbered roles.
Yeah.
They're like, what? I'm like, Special Forces number 2.
Bad guy number 5.
Bad guy number 5. Angry. One time I was Johnny Boy. That was my kill point legacy.
Johnny Boy.
What's the name of your character in the next 3 days?
Oh God, I didn't have I was just an office coworker.
Yeah.
A murder witness. Witness.
Right.
There was a scene. There was another scene on the inside of the building on the next 3 days, and that there was supposed to be lines. They cut them before I pretty much got there, so I was fine to get paid.
Yeah.
It didn't matter to me. And so it was. I forget the girl's name, and she's famous. I mean, she's Elizabeth Banks, maybe. She was the female. She was the female.
Right.
She was the wife in the next 3 days. But the funny thing was, once they shot me, it was like 20 minutes. It was just like basically me walking with an umbrella with the fake rain up by the brewery, up by Penn Brewery, and so it was just like me walking, and the director was just like shouting out different looks. to give. They're like, look shocked, look appalled, look confused.
We'll figure it out in post.
like literally, that's what I was saying.
Look angry.
So like, it wasn't angry. It wasn't. So it was just like me, like, like dead body. And then they cut to this thing 3 different times in the movie. There's like 3 flashbacks of like me, like, is that a dead body? It's like it's the worst. It's the worst. Like a friend of mine, my friend Dan Jammett, was just like, you ruin every fucking movie that's filmed in your town because I'm watching the movie and then you show up and you ruin it.
Break reality.
You ruin it. It's like all of a sudden when I see you, I go, I know I'm not watching a movie anymore. I'm watching your ass paying your rent. But anyway, yeah, the life of a numbered actor.
Yeah. Oh, you know, that reminds me though. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please. I got nothing else to say.
I think that's the one thing. Like when I was watching The Dark Knight Rises, that's the one thing that took me out of it was at the ending was like the chase sequence going up and down Smithfield. I was just like well, when you're here.
Well, that's speaking of striking distance.
Yes.
That like they go places that you can't get to. It doesn't make sense. I know you can take.
Shit. It's like through the tunnel up over Mount Washington, and it's just like.
And they're in Allentown, and then they're over here. Yeah. It's just like it doesn't make any sense if you're from here. And I know Take Bigelow has become,
it's a t-shirt.
Iconic, but that's no joke. But yeah, the Pittsburgh, the Dark Knight Rises, the best. I think I might have told this one before, Amanda. But my favorite part was walking down. I think it was walking down 2nd Ave or something, where it was the middle of summer, so it was hot, but they were making fake snow.
Yeah.
In the streets, it was like trash can fires, and everything was gone, and all the buildings were blocked out. And the director, once again, this is how I get direction, just hollering like, "Look to your left, look to your right." I was walking behind Joseph Gordon-Levitt with the world's greatest stuntman, who I didn't realize at the time, thought he was just another actor in it, and he was like, "I'm a double for who? Bale." I'm like, "You're Batman. So you're Batman stunt double."
You're the real guy.
Shit. All right. Well, don't hurt me. So we're walking down, and they're like, "Look to your left, look to your right," and everything's like, we're badass special forces guys, and we're here to save Gotham City. And they're like, "Look up," and I look up, and I guess they had blanked out the first 3 floors, or the first 2 floors of the building where the shots were, and above that line, it was cool. Above that line, it's just maybe second or the 3rd or 4th floor of the building. I don't know. It's just straight Yinzers pressed up against the glass, watching, and no bullshit, one of them was holding up a terrible towel in the window, and I was like, I almost lost it, and I was just like, yeah, this is definitely the highlight of the movie for me right here. This one movie there, but you seeing the locations of it kind of threw you out. Heinz Field thing threw me in that movie. You know what I mean? When the Heinz Field like collapse kind of a thing. Yeah.
Was that Ravenstall? It was like went down into the hole or something.
No, he was a kicker. He was the kicker in the movie.
But
he was the mayor at the time. They all did. Like everybody. Yeah. Bill Cower, the Marquise Pouncey, Brett Kiesel, everybody dropped. Everybody fell in the hole. Because Thomas Tull was Legendary Pictures, and he was part owner of the Steelers. He still is minority owner of the Steelers.
He's the greatest guy, man. I love
Thomas Tull.
He's a great dude, man.
Dude, he's a piece of shit, man.
I've never met the man. I would love to. Never met him. A lot of people met him around me. I recognized him in The Dark Knight Rises. Did you know he has a cameo? Okay, great.
I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
I did not.
So there you go. Chris, tell him where he is. In that very scene. In that very scene.
Yeah.
In that very scene, Johnny Boy Jordan. Great, thanks. Great. That's what it is. And I want to give Amanda credit for being a good listener and watching the show. I want to thank for that. Dave says
that
Amanda Blair Kieran. You might know her from Cards Unlimited. She runs the place, and she's awesome, and you love it because of her, because she is the magical touch for it. I will say she's if you guys want to come back a couple of times, she's in the illustrious 3-timers club, here on the show. She's been on the show as a guest 3 different times.
How many times who is the most appearances and how many?
3 is the thing. There are 3 people with 3 appearances of how this went. So Amanda, I believe Andrew Swackhammer, amazing performer and musician. He was on last night, had his 3rd, because we wanted. I called him at 5 o'clock because Kurlander was going to be on. I called him at 5 o'clock to learn "Man in Motion," the theme song from St. Elmo's Fire, to play it on the ukulele. And he fucking killed it. It was better than the original. It was better. Like, seriously, it wouldn't be hard to be better than the original, but he definitely destroyed it. Carl was blown away. Carl was like, "I've never liked that song till right now." That was my Carl impersonation. Fortunately, he's not watching. He didn't watch the full 2 hours of the show here tonight. Yeah, we ran long. I'm sorry to the guys in the booth, but
Oops.
That's okay.
Oh.
This is too much fun. But yeah, but yeah. So I would say, as far as chase scenes go or car scenes go, distracting ones, Dark Knight Rises and the what do you call it? And Striking Distance are the two most infuriating.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, and something else that Melissa Martin chimed in earlier that said Cotter Smith moved here, talking about actors from out of town that like get it and click in. Cotter Smith was he was a regular on Mindhunter, but he's been in a million movies. He was the president in one of the X-Men movies.
That's right. Cool. Holy shit, that's right.
Yeah, but Cotter shows up in Cotter when I was putting that reel together for Bingo. Lady Beware, Cotter Smith is the lead in Lady Beware and had an argument scene with Bingo. It was crazy, and Cotter was at the naming tribute thing for Bingo. It was amazing, and we ran that clip. He didn't know it was coming, and I was like, "There's young soap opera Cotter Smith." Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, small town kind of connections thing. But yeah, so yeah, Pittsburgh can get like some people can get it.
Yeah.
And like it and want to come here.
Open up to it.
That's from the Sheettsburg to Pittsburgh. Who calls it what? Go ahead, Chris.
Because Sienna Miller, she was also a mystery of Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah. It was Sienna Miller, Mina Savari, Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte wore slippers the entire movie. Like bed slippers, and he had just gotten a new knee. He showed it to me at the Lamont. It was very funny. Offline, I'll tell you the story about my first conversation with Nick Nolte after we finish, after we wrap it up here tonight. Actually, we probably should. If you guys want to stick around, we can keep bullshitting, but we should probably cap the show so people don't think it's a 3-hour show. We also, if you're still watching with us, folks, we have a podcast now, so you can get this. You can get the audio of the show and. Listen to a podcast from if you're on your treadmill, if you're social distance jogging, if you're wearing your mask and you don't want to look at our beautiful faces, you can do that. So yeah, we're a little bit over an hour tonight, says the guys in the booth, but it's okay. We're going to tighten it up tomorrow. If you're still with us, we're going to wrap this up now. Tomorrow, Natalie Bensavenga is going to be with us doing 5 minutes with. Dave Bracey is going to be talking about local brews and any updates on coming on with Fresh Fest Digifest. And we have another guest that will be there as well. And I forgot who that's going to be. So it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be a surprise guest. And we'll have the answer of who won Donnie Iris or Silence of the Lambs.
That's tough.
It's tough. It's very tough. And I'd love for you to. Oh God, that's right. Big Blitz is going to be here. The band Big Blitz. We've been trying to book them for a while. I saw Big Blitz play at Petonkatonk. They killed it. Pete, how old are those guys? They're youngsters. They were youngsters when I saw them. How old are they?
18-ish.
They're 18-ish, and they kill it. They're so much fun and great. But yeah, that's good. So anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. Is there anything else you guys want to say in conclusion? Great. I want to go ahead.
Yeah.
Chris?
No, I'm good.
No. You go.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap it up.
All right, cool. I was gonna just say, like, like a reminder, just for my friends over, whoever sees this, but my friends over in London, Justice for Grenfell, just hold Arconic accountable. 72 lives for loss 3 years ago. We're coming for you.
Nice. We'll let it end with that. Thank you for joining us. Alone Together Pittsburgh. Don't forget to hit the Venmo at Together PGH to support the artists involved with the show tonight and every night. And we'll be back again tomorrow. Don't forget to vote. And seriously, wear a fucking mask. Put on a mask.
For real.
Please, just like it's not political. It's not politics. I don't care who you vote for. Wear a mask. Don't bitch about it. And be nice to the employees at the businesses that you go to, especially when they ask you to wear a mask. Okay?
No shit.
Don't be a jag.
Don't be a jag-off. Put on a mask. You know what Bruce Springsteen says?
What does he say, Patrick Jordan?
Bruce Springsteen says,
Yeah. Yes.
Put on a fucking mask. Put on a fucking mask.
he was making
Put on a fucking mask.
he's making up for the waiting. And I mean, don't forget about Batman and what he tells you.
What does Batman tell us?
Wear a mask. I'm not afraid.
It's not to protect you. It's to protect others.
It's to protect the people you care about.
There you go. Okay.
All right. Anyway, hey, thank you all. We're gonna go offline. I'm gonna stick around with these guys for a couple minutes, but thank you for watching. Please be cool. Wear a mask and tip your takeout waiters. Thank you.